Hello.
Yeah. Snappy.
Yeah. Makes me feel, makes me look forward to the day.
Good.
Makes me look forward to the afternoon. Makes me look forward to the evening. Makes me look forward to what's ahead.
Yeah. It's just a good note to begin on, am I right?
Honestly, yeah. I think so. It's a nice way to begin. It starts everybody's day. It gets everybody going, makes everybody happy, makes everybody look forward to what's going to come today, I think.
Yesterday, I tried to go through Taco Bell drive-thru, and it was taking forever, but a lot of the drive-thrus take forever now, because I guess more people are going through drive-thru now than ever before.
Yeah.
But there was it was clearly a customer. It was not an employee. It was like this old guy, probably or late 50s, early 60s, but really hadn't taken care of himself in those 50 or 60 years. I mean, just not, maybe mentally not 100% there. Type of guy that hangs out at a Taco Bell for a better part of the afternoon. Not a lot to do. The guy didn't strike me as having a lot on his plate. I didn't think there were a lot of people wondering, hey, where's that guy? He's supposed to be here. But he was just hanging out like at the center of at the beginning of the drive-thru area, the beginning of the drive-thru lane, and he was like tapping on cars and stuff. I was like, what the hell is this? And then he's like tapping on a car. The guy rolls down the window. He says something to him, and the person responds in such a panic that he actually, in a sedan, drives over the median as quick as he can and just leaves. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, well, I just wanted I wanted a chicken quesadilla and I wanted a chalupa. That's all. And I pull up. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to pull up. And the guy's like, he's like putting his arms up in the air like, I don't know what this guy's doing. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm in for. But I had my windows rolled up. I had my doors locked. I said, maybe this is it. Maybe Biden's in charge and the suburbs have gone to shit. This is it. And so he was like, hey, and he started like going to me. So I made the move where I rolled down the window just a little bit. And he was like, no drive-thru. No drive-thru. The technology's down. It's inside only. They're trying to figure out a way to tell these people. And he's in a panic.
Oh.
And I'm like, first of all, you're just a customer. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, they're trying to get somebody out here, but it's inside only. I'm like, all right, I guess that's okay. And so I just left. I'm like, I'm not going inside there. I'll just go get a slice somewhere.
Well, was there anybody at the window who worked there?
At the drive-thru window?
Yeah, like was there a person going, hey, this guy's an asshole?
He was clearly, wher he was right or wrong, he was clearly an asshole.
Oh,
but
right,
there was,
okay.
So that's
mentally a little off,
Oh, yeah. But there was a line of cars. So I couldn't get to the window because there was a line of cars. And I'm like, well, the guy who's waiting at the drive-thru, he's kind of just waiting there. He's not sitting there trying to figure out what he's going to do next. And obviously he can't back up, but he can go forward. Nobody's telling me. But I said, whatever. I don't need to deal with all this.
Yeah.
And so I just left, and I was thinking about, number one, why was the guy in front of me in such a panic that he had to drive over a median in his sedan? Like, I mean, you could just chill out for a second and go like, hey, this gentleman over here is trying to tell us something. And number two, I mean, do you think that this guy who was a customer, because he had a bag of food in his hand from Taco Bell, did he just hear them kind of discussing this in the kitchen inside the restaurant and like run out to the parking lot and do what he thought was his civic duty?
No, here's what I think happened. I think the guy who drove over the median, his goal had been that he likes to go up there and order food with his dick out. So I think what happens is, like, he likes it when they hand him his food and they notice his dick, and he probably he probably turtle massages the head with his thumb, and when he realized that it was closed, he's like, well, what am I doing here? I'm not going to be able to come this way, and then he went to another drive-thru. That's my suspicion with that guy, is he likes to have his dick out.
But that's why he had such frenetic energy about what he was doing, because he was all charged up.
That's why he drove over the median. He's like, what the fuck? Like, you want to come and something happens. You're like, I gotta fucking go find a drive-thru now. And he probably has to go get food that he's not going to enjoy as much.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's my guess. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I decided that sometimes you realize the universe is just sending you signals. Like, you don't need to be involved in all this today. Do you really want Taco Bell? And I was like, I don't. I mean, I just passed it, and I was like, that's an option.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to go for something else. I'm going to keep driving, I think.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to say fuck it and go somewhere else. That's all. You just head at it. You fucking leave Dodge. That's all.
But wherever this guy calls home, he's definitely not the drive-through masturbator guy in the sedan. I'm talking about the guy warning all of us. Yep. Wherever he calls home, he definitely went home yesterday and was going, oh, guys, you should have been there. I go inside. And he struck me as the type of person who probably does not go through many drive-thrus because he likes the casual conversation you can have with your cashier when you go inside to pick up your food.
Which is always an awful chat. It's never a good conversation with the cashier at a fast food restaurant.
Ugh, the worst. The worst. And I feel bad for the cashiers at the restaurant than I do for the guy. I mean, you're sitting there. You can't be pleased with your job. You got to work at a Taco Bell during COVID.
Yeah.
Like, now you're just trying to keep the lights on. And you got some guy who thinks he's Superman of Taco Bell drive-thrus coming in and wanted to talk your ear off. He also struck me, he struck me as the type of person who probably goes there every single day at the same time.
Yeah, and there's nothing worse than some asshole who thinks he's helpful. No one likes an asshole being helpful. You don't work there. Fucking shut up. Mind your business. Fucking hit the road. You're not helping anybody. You're a hindrance. Like my father used to always say to me, be a help, not a hindrance. Because I was always a hindrance.
You were?
Yes, I was. And my father was
I hate
not
to
wrong.
hear that.
Yeah, it's okay.
In hindsight, he was right. You were
He was correct.
a hindrance.
Be a help, not a hindrance.
Yeah, I think that I go through situations like this and I realize that maybe we would all be in a better position in the world if we would go through one of my philosophies that I try to live by, which is mind your business.
Yeah.
Just mind your business. Is it your drive-thru? No. If I go to a Taco Bell and they're like, hey, the drive-thru's not open, I go, okay, I guess it's on you to tell everybody else. Because at no point would it even cross my mind. Because I'm going to mind my business instead.
You know what you should say to people? It's like when Jimmy was crazy when I was 15 or 14, I would go, buzz off! That's what you should say to somebody. Why don't you buzz off?
Nice.
That's a suburban insult.
I would have loved to have told that guy to buzz off. Sure. And then just right in front of him, gotten in the not moving drive-through line. Just so he could sit there going, I don't know. I told this guy. I told him the drive-thru's not going to be working. He's not listening to me. Guys, don't get behind this guy right here. He's crazy.
But the problem with that is that's the same thing he'd be yelling if he put gas on you in your car and set you on fire in your car and burned you alive. That's what the explanation he'd be giving to the police as they pulled up. I told him not to sit in the drive-thru. Like, that's a crazy dude who would give that explanation. Why'd you cut his throat? Because I told him the drive-thru's closed. Like, that's a rational explanation for him. So you probably made the right move.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, he would sit there after just doing something horrible and being like, we're all on the same page, right? He shouldn't have lined up for the drive-thru, am I right?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
That's
You know what
the
you
right
just
move.
did?
Yeah, you killed him.
Somebody, he does not, I don't think he lives by himself. Somebody has to listen to that. Somebody has to listen to the story when he gets home of saving the Taco Bell drive-thru.
So do you think that horse's ass tells people that he lives with? Isn't that a great description of because he sounds like a horse's ass. That's what that person sounds like.
You know, you might as well have been in a backwards stable because that guy was a horse's ass.
Yeah, real horse's patoot.
He was. He struck me as that.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
so,
I'm sorry it didn't work out for you. And yet I'm happy for you that it didn't work out for you. I think it's better for you that it didn't work out for you.
Why?
Because it's
so
healthier
to deal with that?
to eat that. No, healthier to not eat that food.
I mean, I just went and got a soda and 2 slices of pizza.
Ah, okay. I stand corrected.
You know, I don't know that I made the nutritious choice.
There's a lag. Is it on my end or your end?
Yeah, I'm not getting any lag from anyone.
Okay.
Travis, in the audio, is there a lag or just the visual?
I mean the visual, but I can't tell.
That's just visual.
Oh, yeah, it shouldn't be an audio because we're listening to each other through the miracle of satellite radio.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
our
but
audio is
responding
not
to each other?
being patched to each other through Zoom. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Because I like to make sure that we are putting out the best
this
product.
GD.
Well,
Well, yeah.
Good.
I mean, why start now?
No.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it's this.
It's really hurtful.
It's this GD Zoom. You never had lags on Skype.
God damn it.
Should we switch to Microsoft Teams?
Yeah. Does anybody have? Can we call Sirius? Can we call Eddie Sirius and see if he can switch us over to Microsoft Teams? Oh man.
I forget what I was going to say. I had something to say and I just lost it because I'm so concentrating on looking at the lips moving at a different time. I'm going to put my Zoom down and just listen because it's driving me nuts to watch people.
Just listen.
Let's see if we're on the same. Let's see if we can hear each other in real time. Right after I say 3.
Of course we can.
Okay.
Okay.
No, you got it. You had by your answer, I could tell. I don't even need to do it. I was going to do a test, a fun test that people at home could do if they're having Zoom issues.
Right.
But it was spoiled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spoil the fun game for everybody.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
fun
yeah. It would have been a fun
Zoom
game.
that everybody could play along.
Where I say 1, 2, 3, and then you say 4 as soon as you hear 3, and we see how out of sync we are.
Do you want to try it again?
No, I don't. The game is spoiled because half the fun is explaining the rules.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, I see. So that was really the drama of my day yesterday, I suppose.
That's not bad. It could be worse.
That was the big to-do.
It could be a lot worse. There's a lot worse things that can happen. My day was also fairly drama-free. I had a drama-free day, which was nice.
Good.
Not that I have much drama in life.
Well, you're like Mary J. Blige. Yeah, you're no more drama in your life. And you ain't got no hater rating.
No, I don't. She has that's the only song by her I like. She has another song which I do not care for. I know she's a very popular lady. I'm not a big fan.
That's right. She's the queen of R&B.
Well, I'm not a big R&B fan. I don't like R&B slow jams.
You don't
I always
like
hated on WBLS? They play slow jams. I always hated that.
What were you trying to hear on WBLS if you don't like R&B?
No, they would have like hip hop. They would have a 98.7. I think it was 98.7. DJ Red Alert and Marley Marl on WBLS. I think would do these rap battle again. That's going back a long fucking time. I think was it 98.7 Kiss FM. I don't remember. I just don't remember if it was 97.1 or 98.7.
I think BLS and Kiss. And that back in the day,
yeah,
were the ones that were fighting for that market. Now it's Power 105 and Hot 97.
Hot 97, yeah. You know what it was? It was 107.5.
Hot 97.
Hot 97. But WBLS was, I believe, 107.5. Isn't it weird how you remember certain fucking
call letters,
phone numbers from when you were a kid and certain weird radio station things? Like I can't even tell you what station we're on Sirius as far as the number, but I remember BLS from fucking 1990.
The only reason I remember what channel number we're on is because if I say the channel number, then I don't have to say something stupid like faction talk.
You know what? You're probably right. That's that's the easiest way to describe it. Is it 103?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I go, we're on channel 103. They go, what channel is that? And I go, 103. You'll find it. It's 103.
Yeah. You
between 101, 102. That's us after that.
You don't like the name faction?
You don't even like... No. I think it's horrendously stupid because you know what happens? Every single time I go, we're on Faction Talk, they go, oh, Faction Talk, what's that?
Yeah.
And then I have to be, I'm like Jim Norton on an episode of Bar Rescue. I'm like, I don't know. They didn't tell us. I don't know what it means.
It's an awful name.
I don't know.
I mean,
it doesn't mean anything.
My title that I'm pitching, and they just won't bite on. It's annoying.
Well, we do have negotiation coming up in a year. Maybe they'll bite on it in a year. What is it?
Fun Banter. That's a good name. Fun Banter.
I love it. Sirius XM 103.
Faction
Fun Banter.
Talk. Like it doesn't mean anything. We're not
doesn't
some
mean anything.
rebellious group. We're just fucking assholes with a radio show.
Yeah.
Faction
Yeah, it doesn't
Talk.
mean anything.
We've talked about this.
As a matter of fact, Yeah, I had a conversation. You know, Pat McAfee is supposedly coming to Sirius XM. He hasn't actually signed on the dotted line yet, but they've agreed to terms. He's supposed to be on Sirius, I think next week or something like that, and they're figuring out what channel he's going to be on. But I had a conversation with him a while back when that was kind of happening, and he was like, "So what is faction talk?" I was like, "Pat, I don't know what. I don't know. It's 103. I don't know. It's one. He goes, "Well, how do you tell people? Like, if you don't know what it is, how do you tell people what channel you're on?" I say 103. I don't know. I don't know otherwise.
Isn't it because of
Jason
say
Jim
Ellis?
and Sam 103? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's because he came, but then I mean, he got upset about it too, and rightfully so, because they named the channel Faction Talk, and he was like, "Okay, so it's my channel," and they were like, "Yeah, sure." And then he was like, "Okay, this is what I want," and they were like, "No." And he was like, "Well, you said this. Then why did you call it?
Right.
Why did you make it seem like it was my channel?" They were, we were just trying to get you over here.
Yeah. I don't understand what it means. It doesn't matter, though. They don't seem to be caught up on it.
Doesn't matter.
They don't care. A little more promotion for the boys would be nice, but it is what it is. I mean, look, I'm just happy that the check clears every fucking month.
That's right. As long as the check clears, what are we going to do? Complain about it?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you don't even like the Mary J. Blige song with Method Man?
Which one is that?
You know, you're all I need to get by.
Oh, right. No, I don't.
Yeah.
No.
What?
That's a great one.
It's fabulous. You don't like that song?
No, I'm glad you guys enjoyed that, though. That's really good to know. No, I don't care for it.
But it's not for you.
Nah, I would say that's not for me. No, I don't believe that's for me.
Family Affair would be your jam, though.
There you go. That's everybody knows that one. That's the big one.
Family Affair is good.
That's a great song.
Yeah. But I can't believe you don't like, I mean, with Method Man and everything?
Yeah, no, I know it's hard to believe, but not my thing. Was it really?
All day.
What part was?
You know what part?
You were my boyfriend, and that's all that ever really mattered to me. You were my boyfriend. Yeah, it's enraging.
Terrible.
Yeah, I'm glad that Travis is susceptible to that, like I am as well. Like,
Very.
Tef gets stuff stuck in his head. Unfortunately, it's not things made of lead, but I do like the fact that he gets certain things stuck in his head.
Yeah, me too. I got a few tweets from people, complaint tweets, saying that they couldn't stop singing "Come On Be My Baby Tonight."
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. That's a shame.
I'm glad we could present that to the world.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, that's unfortunate that affected people negatively, though. I understand why. Right. That would bother them a lot.
We didn't intend for that.
No, I mean, it wasn't on purpose. We want people to have a pleasant listening experience.
Hey, so we didn't talk about it on Monday or Tuesday, but the Jerry Falwell pool boy was on GMA, giving more details about Jerry Falwell and the whole thing. I mean, he is really doubling down on the fact that this was a cuck scenario. That there is no doubt about it. This was not an affair. This was some good old-fashioned cucking, and he needs the world to know that.
Yep.
You want to hear some of it?
Oh God, yeah. I might have heard. I've heard so many clips.
Yeah.
And now, by the way, they said, I think it was yesterday, they announced that Falwell they're investigating him financially. That's the problem he's going to have, is if he fucked with the finances of the university, because that will affect his payout.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that is a problem, that this stuff starts, and it starts embarrassingly, but then people start to dig. Like when they realize, it's like this guy comes out and does this story, and then people see like a shimmer of gold beneath the surface of the dirt. And they're like, we better start digging. You're like, oh, no.
Yeah, the finances are like, the school could go, all right, like morally, look, you're watching your wife get fucked. That's not the values you're preaching. But if he was starting to give, like, interest-free loans, or like when you control, or when you have the ability to kind of influence where millions of dollars are going in loans, that's when the school might be fighting to get their payout back. Like, that's what they're probably looking for, a way to invalidate his exit package. That's what I'm getting. That's what they do in these big things, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Like if you've just done the thing that they know you've done before they signed off, then you're probably okay. But if your financial dealings were shady, that may invalidate the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, and yeah, it's millions. It's millions of dollars we're talking about.
$10.5 million.
So that's a lot of reason for Jerry Falwell to want to keep it, and a lot of reason for an educational organization to want to not to pay that much money.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely do not want to pay that, and they're really throwing him under the bus, I guess. Maybe they didn't know. I don't know.
I do love that George Stephanopoulos went from like the White House to having a conversation with Jerry Falwell's cuck pool boy. Like that's just where life brought him, you know?
But he's a pretty prestigious interviewer. Like he's a pretty well-connected interviewer. Like he's not seen as doing some. He's considered like real. Like he gets time with Trump. He gets like he gets the biggest people you can get in the world. So I don't know if it's a big fall as opposed to it being a leapfrog from the White House into a huge gig.
Yeah, I don't think it's a fall. Well, I think. See what I did?
Go on now.
Thanks. No, I don't think it's a fall at all. I'm not. Yeah, that's not to demonstrate. If anything, it's an upgrade because now he's like the most famous interviewer guy on GMA, which is like the big morning show. It's just funny that
he is.
That's the career path. And this is the like. Of course, this should be the career path.
Yeah,
you get the exclusive with the cuck pool boy.
Yeah.
Let me hit this.
With Mrs. Falwell, but that Jerry Falwell Jr. was not involved in any way. But you say from the start they were both involved?
First off, thank you for having me on. And Jerry's lying.
That's a terrible opening question if you're Jerry Falwell. Like that's what you're starting with. You're not even like.
But it's also who gives
a bummer.
What, did Jerry suck your dick? That's what he wants to know. Like, did Jerry lick your ball? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, how is that? How is I do too in a morbid, curious way, but like, how is that like a real news question? Did Jerry suck your dick too? Like, that's not even. Who cares?
If you're an arbiter of morality, there's a big difference from being like, my wife had an affair and I forgave her, and I like to sit in a Speedo and rub my shaft. You know, there's a big difference if you are in the position that Jerry Falwell Jr. is in.
There is, but I don't think either is immoral. The only thing he's doing wrong is if he's lying about it, then the lying is the problem. Like, meaning there's no shame in the fact that you might have jerked off watching. It's embarrassing, and he's got adult kids, I guess, and he doesn't want his son to know. Like, yeah, there was a guy close to your age fucking mom while I tugged my dick. By the way, how's college? You know, like, I'm sure that's embarrassing as a
bummer.
Dad. You know what I mean?
Real bummer.
Yeah, I think when people have kids, it becomes humiliating in a weird way, and it's his mom. So maybe that's why Falwell doesn't want to. But I just don't see it as being as newsworthy unless he stole money.
I mean, but he would also tell you, he would be the one to sit there and tell you this is immoral. Like, immoral to who? To Jerry Falwell.
Yeah, he would.
You know, that's what to me makes it newsworthy. It's like when those anti-gay politicians are tapping their feet under the bathroom. It's like, you know, is it newsworthy that that a politician is a closeted homosexual? You know, debatable. But if it's somebody who is family values anti-gay and he's a closeted homosexual, then I think then it's a different deal.
It does matter, sure. I mean, yeah.
Well, let's hear what Giancarlo has to, and of course, the pool boy's name is Giancarlo.
Why wouldn't it be? A fine name for a pool boy.
This is his game plan from the beginning to just throw her under the bus, which I think speaks a lot about who he is, about his character. And he was aware from day one of our relationship, and he did in fact watch.
Oh. So how would that work? Describe the encounters.
I mean, I love it. Describe the encounters. Hey, George, I'd like to know what it's like when George fucks his wife. Like, come on.
Well, I mean, I would too. Actually, I would love to. I would love to have a context where I could ask him that interview. But if George Stephanopoulos was up there being like, "You should never fuck your wives," and then somebody was like, "No, he definitely fucks his wife," like, then I'm like, okay, well, explain that. Give me the scenario. What's the scenario?
But it is basically just for the satisfaction. And again, I don't like Jerry Falwell, but it is just for the satisfaction of going asshole. Like it is.
Yeah, of course. There's
You know,
no.
like,
I mean, what's the result here? Were you gonna lock him up? Like, what are you?
I don't like
It
these
is
religious
just to
guys
do
who
that,
tell
yeah.
everybody else they're dirty. Like I get that. It is the sad, and it is a way of rubbing his face in shit when he's been. But I don't think he
Yeah.
himself. Again, the school and maybe the evangelical attitude, but I don't think he himself has been particularly anti-gay or I don't know. For some reason, I'm not thinking he was compared to the. Maybe I'm wrong, but the little bit I've read, and I wonder if that's because he liked to sneak in there and do cleanup. I don't know.
Well, that's
Maybe.
a question for it's a question for George Stephanopoulos to get to the bottom of. I also think that his question was so blunt. Like, can you just describe what happened?
Yeah.
Because the pool boy kind of took away the follow-up question by without even asking, being like, and also he watched. Like, okay, what else then? Can you tell me more?
The pool boy
Wait, that's
implies pecka-tugging.
That's right. That's when you realize, like, this isn't the type of interview that I'm going to have to ask a lot of questions for, because old Giancarlo is loose-lipped.
Yeah.
So let's go back to when I first met them. I
Good
was
idea.
20 years old, working at the Fontainebleau Hotel, working my way through college, and I'm talking to some guests, and I noticed this woman behind me staring at me, and she was noticeably drunk, and she was just flirting with me, and then we started flirting back and forth, and then towards the end of my work shift, she's like, "Hey, would you want to go back to my hotel room?" And as a single 20-year-old, I'm like, "Yeah, of course," and then she's like, "But my husband wants to watch." And immediately I thought it was a bit strange.
Sight unseen.
Yeah.
Sight unseen. So that means that, like, that's a kink, I guess, that he would like to send his wife, if what he's saying is true, that Falwell apparently would like to send his wife down to the hotel bar and come back up here with somebody.
I have encountered a couple like that many years ago. I was answering an ad. This is how long ago this was. It was in the newspaper. Like, it was a newspaper ad for a single woman. And, like, you had to actually mail a photo of yourself. Like, you put a photo of yourself in the mail and sent it.
Yeah.
And so I did. And she was older. I mean, I was probably 23 or 22, maybe even younger. It might have even been before comedy. I might have been 20. And she wrote me back, or she called me or whatever. We talked. And she said, yeah, I put that as a single woman, but I am married, and my husband doesn't want to participate. He just wants to watch. And I went over the house. They had a daughter. She wasn't there. Remember that they talked about the kid being away. And she was
How
very
old was
sexy.
the daughter?
I don't know. I wasn't even in the equation. I just
No pictures or
remember like they
anything.
were parents. And she was sexy. They were older than me. She was probably 40 at the time. And he might have been 55. But it was a weird vibe. And me and her, he's like, yeah, I'd just like to watch. And she and I 69'd, and he just sat on the sofa and watched. He really did. He didn't jerk off. He literally just watched.
Like biting his lip?
I don't remember it at all. I know I was uncomfortable, but not freaked out. And I knew it before I got there. But it was a little weird. And I remember she blew me pretty well. I saw them a couple of times, and it never really went anywhere beyond that. But yeah, that was a case where I have met someone or talked to someone who meets you and then goes, hey, by the way, my husband would like to watch. Not that crazy.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I wish I was more of a
Interesting.
stud. Boy, they really made a mistake. They really picked a dud, an average bloke.
Yeah. I mean, look, Giancarlo, he might have loose lips now, but this is a handsome guy. This is the guy. If you want your wife bringing somebody back to the room so you can watch, this is the guy. Am I right, fellas?
Yeah.
And I backed off. He said, "Oh no, but he's not going to do anything. He's just going to sit in the corner, and he just wants to watch, and it's his thing." And she mentioned that they were actually at a swingers club the night before, Miami Velvet.
He
But it
named
wasn't
by
their thing.
name.
They said
By name.
it was kind of gross because there's too many people, and they wanted a more intimate session. So I had no idea who they were at the time. You know, after my work shift, they called me through a blocked number to schedule where to meet, and we met at another hotel. And I walk into the lobby, and you know, Becky's sitting there waiting for me, and we were both nervous at the time. And then she offered me whiskey to relax, to calm my nerves. We talked for a bit, I relaxed, and then we went upstairs, and Jerry was laying on the bed. He was laying on the bed, he was drunk, and he was giggling. And again, I'm kind of weirded out at this moment, and I said, hey, if at any point you get jealous or you want me to back off, just let me know, and I'll walk out of here. He's like, no, just go for it.
And this would then
that's how it
happen
began.
on other occasions as well. And
George Stephanopoulos
just
jumping
won't
in.
stop.
No, he wants to know more. He wants this going in the spank bank.
You
for
bet he
later.
does. Yeah. Interesting verbiage, though, by this Giancarlo. And again, I don't know if he was an escort or not. I have not heard that he is. But the reason I'm asking is because he said the word session. They wanted a more intimate session. Now, again, that could just mean a hang. It might mean nothing. But the fact that he was willing to talk to them from a block number, to meet them at another oh, yeah, you know what? He was the pool boy at the hotel. He probably couldn't meet them at the hotel there. Maybe they had to get another hotel because he worked there.
Yeah, but I mean, but he couldn't have been that sort of unfamiliar with like hookup
that setup, yeah,
lifestyle, in the sense that it would, like, if you just are a pool boy and you're like, whoa, I usually don't hook up with guests like this, and they're like, oh, meet us at a different hotel and here's a block number. The fact that you would just go along with it, like, yeah, this is what happens sometimes in this lifestyle, means that you've lived it a little bit.
Yeah, and that was it was the word session. I'm like, I wonder if he's an escort. I mean, again, I have not heard that he is.
Right.
But it was just
interesting
speculation on that term.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that the quotes coming out of this this interview, all the headlines said, Jerry Falwell Jr. tells pool boy, quote, go for it.
Yep. That's
with
the one
wife.
Yeah, go for it.
You're like, go for it. Oh.
Yeah, they might be swingers.
Just let me know.
Yeah.
Might be swingers.
Yeah,
This
the
guy
fact
is
that they
coming
went to
right out
Miami
going,
Lacer.
he's saying Jerry's lying. Like, that's a really, like, if you notice when people address stuff publicly, they very rarely say so-and-so is lying, because that's that can be a really defamatory thing. So they'll always go like, well, that's not the way. You have to be careful because you're opening yourself up to litigation just by saying that. But so he might be truthful because he's saying Jerry's lying. But then again, it's kind of hard to prove. And he knows that even if Jerry isn't lying, even if Jerry is telling partial truth, or like, I don't know, maybe he just knows that Jerry has secrets.
Maybe he's being so direct as a way of kind of telling Jerry without telling Jerry, I've got a lot more evidence than what I've put out.
That's why I wondered that recording of that phone call. And the reason I don't want to play it is because I don't like playing it. I fucking hate that.
You get skeeved out.
It annoyed me that he records the guy's wife when they're not saying anything illegal. Like, it's not like she's saying, hey, let's fucking murder my husband. She's just saying, he's just proving, I don't know, it was an intimate talk between the wife and him. And it was like, they're all adults who kind of signed up for the same thing. And now he's playing it on Good Morning America. It just seems shitty.
Right.
So he might have more. That's the point I'm making. He may have.
Yeah.
Especially if they were doing video. Again, I don't know, but that may be the warning shot. I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
He was laying on the bed. He was drunk, and he was giggling. And again, I'm kind of weirded out at this moment. And I said, hey, if at any point you get jealous or you want me to back off, just let me know, and I'll walk out of here. He's like, no, just go for it.
Oof.
And this would then
that's how it
happen
began.
on other occasions as well. And what would he be doing?
Oh,
come on. That's the most leading question. George. Be a little artistic about it.
Come on, George.
He wants to know. Was he stroking it? Tell me the truth. What would he be? Did this happen on more occasions? And what would he be doing? George is in a lather. He wants all the details. And what would he be doing?
Yeah.
I don't want to go too much into the details. But he enjoyed watching.
Okay, look. There's only one, like we're saying, obviously this person is very self-assured. There's only one. I don't think that while he's having sex with this man's wife, he's saying, hey, Jerry, you liking this? And Jerry's going, oh, yeah, keep it going. Like, I don't think that's a verbal cue. I think I think the way he's talking, he was able to realize that Jerry Falwell Jr. was enjoying this through nonverbal cues.
Do you mean you think he could visually see that Jerry was enjoying this?
I think so.
Maybe
I think it was a lot more than, because, and smiles can lie. I don't think it was a smile that he saw, because a smile can lie.
His fist told the tale. I think what Jerry was holding in his fist.
I think you might be right about that, Jim.
But I think this is more about just his kids being embarrassed and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, this foundation of who this guy is shaken by people. I just wish we didn't judge each other on this stuff. Just watching your wife get fucked. Yeah, it's a kink. And, I honestly don't know if I could watch my wife actually get fucked and have an intimate relationship as much as I'm talk shit and I'm dirty. But, it's not a crime. You're not hurting anybody.
No, you're not.
They say now that you're trying to extort them. Why come forward now? This started 7 years ago.
So, again, going back to that time, after that Fontainebleau or the hotel, that first night, shortly after we had a weekend getaway at Chica Resort in the Florida Keys, and in this trip, we were doing our, the nature of the relationship continued there.
He's showing pictures of all of them together as a group.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely knew each other. They went away, I mean.
And Falwell's wife is a good-looking woman, and she definitely dressed in a sexy manner. She's ready to party.
I'm going to say this. Becky Falwell rules.
Yeah. Oh,
Becky Falwell is the shit. She's awesome.
She's the hero of this whole story.
Now, Liberty University is a college, right? That's not a high school.
Oh, no, it's a university.
It's a university college. Okay, because there was a story, they didn't mention the guy's age, which is why I'm asking, where she crawled into bed with one of the son's friends and allegedly sucked his dick. Did you read that?
I read that she did perform fellatio on a student, yes.
And I was just like, if that's true, that's why, I read that, I'm like, that's probably why. It's just embarrassing because of the relationship to the son. That's all. It just makes them feel like, oh no.
Well, you don't want to know the last thing you want to know is that your mom has a strong sexual appetite. Unless you're that guy in Massachusetts who was probably thrilled when he found out his mom had a strong sexual appetite. But if you're anybody other than that guy, this is the worst news ever.
But any of you guys picture your moms? Can you picture your mom? Picture one of your friends. Whichever one of you guys wants, picture one of your friends.
Wait. Before you go any further, Jim, just so everybody's included, we should be picturing our mom about 20 years ago, because otherwise not everybody can participate. They wouldn't be able to. They don't know what, just so everybody, because not everybody here would know what their mom would even look like.
Picture your mom from the 90s.
Yeah. Picture your mom pre-WCW going out of business.
Got it. Okay. Yep. Got it.
Okay. All right.
Picture your mom and one of your friends being in bed, and your mom crawling into bed and sucking his cock, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And if you were awake in the room, you'd hear,
"Oh man, I'd be
blowing my friend." Ugh.
If I found out my mom did that to my buddy Chuck, I'd be like, Chuck, and she'd be
How
like,
about your buddy Troy?
I'd be very upset. I'd be very upset.
How about your buddy Hot Dog?
Troy, Hot Dog.
You'd be a little more confused by Hot Dog.
Well, Sam's dad would have to be there too.
Yeah, that's true.
Hot Dog couldn't come with that.
No.
I understand.
Hot Dog is only into devil's triangles. That's the only thing he likes sexually.
He's a good boy.
Yeah. Why I wouldn't like it if it was Troy is because Troy would try to justify it. He wouldn't be apologetic at all. He'd be like, come on, man. I mean, we're guys.
Troy would be really annoyed that you were upset.
Yeah, that you didn't
that I
get
had a problem with it. Yeah.
Come on, dude, you can fuck my mom. Dude, my mom's game too. You can fuck my mom. Troy wouldn't give a shit.
We're men, Sam. There's an animalistic side of us.
Yeah. Sam, it's fine. Come on. We had a good time. She needed it. She let her hair down. Yeah, he'd try to make you feel better about it. He wouldn't understand why you were upset.
You're no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the other thing. When you marry somebody that's got this like a crazy sexual person that's just a freak, you gotta. I mean that it's fun at first, and then you have to figure out how to maintain that because that person is not changing. That's what you signed up for. So you got to figure out how, like, you got to be okay with, like, you know, you married a freak. Good for you.
Especially when you're married for 20, 25 years, it's just like, look, you just get tired of fucking your old lady. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you got to figure out somebody's got to step in here and take over.
Right. Like, you know, I'm noticing that our son has a very good looking college friend. Why don't you go give him a beach?
Yeah. Suck his cock.
Why don't you go give him a Brentwood hello?
Do you think that how old, Travis, can you check? Because I've looked and I can't find it. How old are Falwell Jr.'s kids? Because I think the fact that they're like of an age of 19, 20, whatever, like they're like way beyond not understanding. So I think they're part of it. Like I think they're young adults. I just don't know how old all of them are.
They're the Don Carlo age of
I think they might be, yeah.
Well, one of them is described on Wikipedia as a businessman.
Oh boy. Okay.
Wait, a businessman?
Yeah,
Was
Jerry
there a comma
Falwell
in there?
Third. No.
Is he a businessman or a businessman?
He's a businessman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
cool.
I would assume they're all. Oh yeah, they've got to be grown up. They have to be grown ups.
No. Does it say they are the children of cucks?
No. Noted cuck children.
Cuck children.
Interesting, but I don't know what he did financially, but this whole hey, you were naughty. Even though it is hypocritical to preach that shit, I just hate seeing it. I hate seeing the guy because he hasn't committed a crime. You know what I mean? They haven't. You know, just likes watching his wife get fucked.
Crime against nature.
No.
You don't think so? Jerry Falwell Jr. probably did until he got caught.
He never thought that, though. He might have said it, but
You think he was fibbing?
He might have been stretching the truth.
Maybe in his teachings there was some. I see.
Maybe.
And, you know, I mentioned to them that when I was younger, right, when I was in high school, I suffered with video game addiction.
Suffered with video games.
I mean, really, is this guy the most sympathetic person? I mean,
it's just this hot dude who had sex with this girl, and she's like, you know, I suffered through video game addiction.
I know. He's a 9.
When I was in high school.
He's a fucking 9. He does nothing but fuck hot chicks at the Miami pool that he works at, and older women, because he probably fucked a lot of girls. He was a good-looking dude. And all of a sudden, he's like, he preyed on me. It's like, come on, he's slow down.
Yeah. Why can't you just
come on,
be on there to announce that you won the genetic lottery? You're the big winner. You don't have problems. Everybody wants to have problems. You don't have them. You're good to go.
Yeah.
I was timid, a bit nervous, and I believe, you know, now in hindsight, that they spotted these weeknesses. And that's made me an ideal target.
Oh, a target.
So I shared, you know, this passion project of mine where it's a company that would connect video gamers suffering with video game addiction and families with health coaches. And he's like, I think that's an excellent idea. And, you know, actually you could probably partner up with Liberty. You know, you should come to New York with us. We're having a business trip and we could talk more about it. And then in this trip in New York City, we stayed at the Gansevoort Hotel on Park Avenue. And he said, look, I really like your idea, but before you can ever help anyone, you need to make a lot of money yourself. So I have and this is Jerry saying, he's like, I have a background in real estate. Pick a property in Miami. Pick a handful of properties, we'll get the best one, and you'll get a 25% ownership stake in it. And that's exactly what I did.
They suggest you targeted them, and that you may have targeted.
I mean,
does it have to be a victim and prey? Like,
no.
Again, he wasn't.
That's not what this is.
He was an adult. They were adults. Things went south. They went poorly. Does there have to be one targeted the other? I mean, they just met at a pool. They start off in this dirty thing, and as you know, finances get involved, and things go awry. I think that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, he didn't pick you because he saw vulnerability. He picked you because you got a square jawline and you gave his wife a good rogering. Like
that guy with a giant bulge looks like he's stuck on asteroid addiction. You know, I mean, he can't stop thinking of Space Invaders. Come on.
Look at that guy. Look at that hot dude over there. I hope he's addicted to Sonic the Hedgehog too. If so, he'd be perfect.
It's hard to not. I mean, you know what I mean? Because again, when you're that age and you're working as a a pool boy, and you're probably just. I mean, girls are probably throwing themselves at you. Like, it's probably like, especially those hotel guests. They see this young hot guy. I mean, that's probably a good job to have. It's like we've all seen female lifeguards. They're fucking smoking in Miami. You're not gonna have any ugly fucking lifeguards in a pool.
Weird. He didn't have to turn down the sex date with the Falwells to go home and play video games just because he was jonesing.
Yeah, he went there knowing that she wanted to watch that. He kind of went there knowing what they wanted.
Definitely knowing what they wanted. Yep. And he was like this, much obliged.
Yeah, much obliged. Yeah, Jerry giggled. He's probably doing that thing where he's just squeezing his shaft through his pants and just giggled. I mean,
do you think, because he said he was lying on the bed, drunk and giggling, do you think he was also maybe touching his wiener?
I don't know. I would have been. I mean, please, if I knew that my wife was about to get fucked and that's what I was into, sure.
Yeah.
Successful women?
That's false. That's ridiculous. That's just them trying to smear me. I think it's kind of ridiculous to think that this 20-year-old with not many resources, I don't come from a family of a lot of money, was targeting and preying upon this power couple that have all the political connections and all the money in the world.
I mean, to be fair, you did fuck his wife while he was watching. You did hold a little bit of power over them. Like, you did know that they would probably not love it if you went out and told everybody what you just did.
Yeah, your dick got you 25% off real estate. My dick has never gotten me a deal. My fucking stomach, my awful erections. No one's ever offered me real estate because of the way I fuck. Never.
Your sex has not gotten you 25% ownership stake?
Never. No one's ever said, oh, God, that cock has got to be in my wife, and boy, do I want to give you something as a gift because you were so good.
Yeah, I mean,
never happened.
You understand that Jerry Falwell wanted to make this kid rich just so he could have him around and watch him fuck his wife?
Yeah.
It's crazy. What a gift. And now Giancarlo is looking this gift horse in the mouth.
It just doesn't seem like either one of them targeted each other when they met. It's one of those just dirty things. These people met by chance, and there was a sexual chemistry, and they got fucking, it got dirty, and then it got more involved. Like, as years went on, it gets more involved.
Yeah, I think it got more involved. They got closer, and then Giancarlo wanted out.
Yep.
And then they said, okay, you can go out, but you can't have all the stuff that we gave you. And he had gotten used to a certain lifestyle.
There you go.
And that's probably where things started to get bad. But I do not think that, I think that they're not being totally honest when they say that he targeted them. And I also do not think that they targeted him. I think it just went awry. And then they started, well, if you leave, you can't have all this stuff. Well, if I can't have all this stuff, then I'm going to tell Baba. And here we are, I think.
I don't even, years ago, I would have gotten so much satisfaction watching a religious guy. And even now, even though he's religious and he's probably not, it's just it's just such a mild thing. My wife got fucked. It's not even, maybe in my world, it's not that salacious, but just what a,
oh my God. I think it's very salacious.
No, I guess it is. But, and again, I acknowledge that maybe I'm just jaded. But there's not even anything crazy going on. They're just with three adults engaging in sexual behavior. Who gives a fuck?
Jaded.
I just don't see it as I don't know.
Again, I feel like I was an ideal target for them.
President Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, is claiming that he had contact with your attorney about...
Oh, this is the lingerie photos, right?
I guess, yeah.
Personal photos of the Falwells that they didn't want released publicly. Did you or your lawyers ever speak with Michael Cohen about the Falwells? What do you know about the photos and the Falwells' relationship with Michael Cohen?
Well, Michael Cohen corrected himself, and he actually said that he met the attorney of a third party that was suing us. There was a demand letter where they were threatening to expose the nature of this relationship, and that's, the best of my knowledge, that's what went on, and I'll never forget it. Winter 2014, around November, December, Becky called me and she's like, hey, that lawsuit in Florida, those guys that are suing us, don't worry about it. Michael Cohen's going to take care of it, something to that effect. And I had no idea who he was. I didn't know him. I'm like, okay, all right, great. We don't have to worry about this. Because again, they were threatening to reveal the nature of this relationship. And I lived through hell at that time. It was a nightmare.
Wait, can you pause that?
So
how do they know the nature of it? Like, how did
the people, the third party?
Yeah, like the nature of this relationship. Did he mean with Giancarlo and
That's the way I'm taking it. Yeah, that's the way I'm taking it.
So how did he get the photos? From who? I don't understand.
Yeah, he's not really explaining where the photos came from. They came from a third party.
Is this one
how
of
many
those
people
things
were
where
passing around these photos?
He might have given the photos, again, the speculation, that maybe the photos came from him and maybe he was involved in a peripheral way. Is that what they started thinking?
I don't know, because he said the Falwells called him and said, don't even worry about it. He said Becky called him and said, don't worry about it. So they seemed like they were on the same team.
Oh, okay.
When this other lawsuit was happening. So, but I have no clue how a third person would have gotten them. Unless, Becky likes to fuck and that's her fucking problem. Maybe it wasn't just Giancarlo. Maybe there was a bunch of people. I don't think that you just do this once, right?
No.
He said that was their thing. How could it be your thing if you only do it with one person?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I mean, God, I'm fascinated by it in the sense that, like, it went on for years and became and I've known couples that do this stuff, and it's pretty open. Like, the husband knows, like, you know what I mean? There's been a few married women I've known over the years where it's never surprising to me when I'm talking to someone who is married and her husband's aware of it. Like, it's more common than you think. And sometimes I think it's just the fantasy of acting it out. But then there are some people that would act it out in a way I was like, wow, they're like, their husband knows that this is happening and is okay with it, almost being a little relationship-y. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yep. Like, it becomes, it starts as just a sexual thing, but then it becomes like, oh no, this is the wife's boyfriend and he's almost this part of the family.
A relationship-y thing. And I guess the cuckold thing, like, I've wondered, like, does it hurt the husband on some level? Is it, like, what is what is my attraction to the theory of it? Because I've done it very few times. I really, honestly, as much as I've talked about it, very few experiences with cuckolding other than the fantasy and the talking. But, like, what is the high when your partner is fucking somebody, like, for real and in a real situation where they are at? Is it because it hurts you so much, or is it because it's so dirty, or it's like, I don't know. I would love to sit down and ask him what
maybe he's attracted to the guy.
That could also be it.
Attraction there. And also, yeah, you're right. It's a lot of times with, if you've been married for 20, 30 years, you add somebody else into the mix and it kind of becomes exciting again, I think, for a lot of people.
Hey, Travis, can we book Jerry Falwell Jr. and just tell him we'd really like to get to the bottom of some of this, specifically the sex stuff?
Oh, yes, but you have to take Becky first.
Yes.
Okay, but we will get Jerry Falwell Jr., right?
Yeah.
Yes, same publicist.
He likes to do the show.
He loves the show. He listens.
First, you have to take Ian Finance.
Yeah.
Also, take Ian Finance and Mark Norman. All right, Roland.
Yeah, Jerry Falwell, he likes the show. He wants to come on. He wants to stop and say hi.
Yeah.
Who's that, Chip Campos?
Yeah.
Chip Campos, yeah.
Hold on a second, Campos. What am I fucking out with a tent or something? Chip Campos.
I feel like Roland sometimes takes these comics and wants to make one of them his Giancarlo Pool Boy. It was Mark Norman for a while. He's trying to make Mark
Where's
Norman.
your wife?
Wait, hold on. Wait, book it. What do you like, reading something? Reading, booking? Booking. Wait, booking, what do you arrested or something? Chip Campos.
Chip Campos.
Oh, it's my favorite. I do love Roland. God damn it.
I love him.
He's a character.
Roland Rolderson.
That's all I have to say about that.
What do you want to happen?
Oh, is he
now?
fucking all of a
Feels like
sudden he's
Stone Cold.
Giancarlo Gump?
Oh, yeah. And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, he liked to tug his penis while I put my you-know-what in his wife. That's all I have to say about that. My wife's box is like chocolates.
Starts screaming.
You never know
like
what. You never know what's going to.
Principal.
You never know what's going to be in them. Yeah. Giancarlo, could you explain what did it sound like in the room? What did Jerry Falwell Jr. describe the sounds being like?
I think I ruined your husband's real estate deal. Can we hear that again? Can we hear his fucking Forrest Gump?
Sorry, I ruined your cuckold party.
And he told me to go for it. And from that point, I was fucking.
But something to that effect. And I had no idea who he was. I didn't know him. I'm like, okay, all right, great. We don't have to worry about this. Because again, they were threatening to reveal the nature of this relationship, and I lived through hell at that time. It was a nightmare. So that's all I have to say about that.
Had myself about 15 sexual encounters with Becky.
And on account of Jerry Falwell was sitting right there and it was free, I must have fucked me Becky about 15 times.
You see Jerry coming out screaming drunk, and him and Becky are hiding in the weeds, and he's fucking her.
I shot in her buttocks.
Oh, that's awesome.
You think that's how? You think he went to the bar and he was walking through married couples, and all the married couples were like, "You can't sit here, seat's taken." And then Becky just looks at him and goes, "You can sit here if you want to."
No, Becky opened her legs and pointed at her pussy and said, "You can sit here if you want to." Like peas and carrots.
Giancarlo's just on GMA going. And then after we were done, I would stand next to Becky, and Becky would say, "I wish I was a birdie so I could fly far, far away."
Oh.
What do you want to happen now?
I've been wanting to cut ties. Again, I have an equity stake in the company, which
He doesn't want to be associated with any of this, Jim.
Yeah, I just want to walk away quietly. I just want to walk away quietly. I have an announcement to make. Okay, good.
Yeah. Just go back to anonymous life. That's all. By the way, how many cucks are out there looking at this guy going like, what is this person's number? He is going to be the go-to guy.
I don't know about that, because if you want
anonymity?
Yeah, man, that might ruin his business.
Yeah, he's running his mouth.
That's true. Yeah, if you look out your window and you see him walk into your neighbor's house, there's no question about what's going on in there. You know why pool boy Giancarlo is coming over. It's not to fix the pool either. This ain't Pip's pool cleaning service.
to cut ties. Again, I have an equity stake in the company, which they offered. I have an equity stake in the company. It has value. And I want to cut ties. And within the operating agreement, there's a selling mechanism. I have every right to want to sell my equity stake. I just want to cut ties. That's all I ever wanted to do. I never asked for more than what was promised to me. And Jerry himself memorialized this offer through text messages.
Ooh. One final question. You also alleged that Jerry Falwell Jr. sent you a compromising photo of a Liberty University student.
Oh.
He says the photo was a friend of his daughter-in-law, not sexual in any way. What do you say to that, and what can you tell us about the photo?
Look, I don't know the context of the photo. All I know is that I was with him and Becky at a hotel in Miami Beach, at the Lowe's Hotel. We were having drinks. They ordered me drinks. We were having drinks, and then he sent me the picture.
I don't like that.
I
don't like that he goes.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah,
that's annoying. You know what? Like
drinks.
Yeah, now you're trying to like just put the seeds in there where like you were having drinks. That's the way it was going. No, they ordered me drinks. It's almost like I don't even want to have this alcohol, but I guess I'll drink this alcohol and go have sex with your wife, I guess.
Yeah. Pool boy with a giant cock. God damn it, I wish I was him.
Yeah, this is like those commercials. I want to be like Mike, except you want to be like Giancarlo.
Yeah.
Context of the photo. All I know is that I was with him and Becky at a hotel in Miami Beach at the Lowe's Hotel. We were having drinks. They ordered me drinks. We were having drinks, and then he sent me the picture. And I tried to act cool about it. I didn't want to overreact, but immediately I thought it was bizarre, considering the nature of our relationship. And at that moment, I'm like, something more is going on here. I don't like this, but I didn't say anything. I didn't know what to do.
What?
But again, I don't know the.
He's already had sex with his wife at that point.
There's a part of me though that, like, again, I don't think this guy's totally lying. Like, maybe Falwell wanted to keep him in a business relationship because it would explain why they were together. Like,
yeah,
traveling with the guy. It's almost like when gay people, this is my manager, this is my assistant, like, like, because they don't want to come out and say they're in a relationship with the person. It gives them a justifiable reason to be together. So that could have been it. If he's like always with this, who the fuck is this young guy you're with? Oh, he's a partner in the land deal we're doing. I'm showing him how to do. Oh, okay, cool. And it's also for tax reasons. You can probably write those things off, those trips if they're business oriented.
Yeah, you just don't put every detail in there. Like, oh no, he's partnering with me on this land deal. We're kind of a mentor-mentee, and then he fucks my wife at night.
Yeah. He fucks my wife, and then he leaves, and then she, she squats over my mouth, and and then the mess is cleaned up, and we'd like to write that off. I probably should have put that in.
Yeah. Oh no, I said the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet.
Now, did any of you guys ever lick cum out of a pussy?
What? No.
Okay.
Hell no. No.
I've never done that either. I've licked my own cum a little bit. I hated it. I truly did not like it.
The taste or just the whole vibe?
The whole vibe, because I'd already cum. Once I cum, I'm fucking back down to earth. And I'm like, oh, this is
right. Like what?
With cum. Yuck.
Yeah. What am I doing this nonsense for?
Do you know any idea how many times I've been with girls and like we're fucking, I'm gonna come and they're gonna clean it up. You're gonna clean it. And I'm like, yeah, you're gonna fucking clean it. All right, go to the bathroom. Beat it. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna watch the Bark at the Moon video. Fucking yeah, no, I really the idea of fucking.
I love that.
Ooh,
I am. No, I'm not.
Nope, not happening. Yeah, did a girl ever blow a guy and then kiss me? Yeah, that happened once or twice. But I mean, again, you're friends, you're exploring. Wait. All right, go ahead.
Blow what guy?
No. Go ahead. Let me hear more of the audio. I didn't mean to say that.
Actually, there was other audio.
That was a mistake.
You said blow a guy and then kiss you.
I didn't say that.
I'm almost positive that's what you said.
That must have been a mistake. No. I meant to say she blew somebody else and kissed me. All right, sorry. I apologize. I apologize. That was a complete mistake. I did not mean to say that. Did I imply that she sucked another dick and then kissed me?
Yes.
No. No, she was blowing somebody else, then it came in her mouth, then she kissed me. I apologize. Okay. Cool. All right. We're all good. For a second there, I thought I said something that's going to make me seem like... All right, cool.
Oh, Jim a Snowball.
Context behind it, and whatever explanation you get it's fine. That doesn't matter. The point is, it's why did he have that picture? Why did he share it? And why was he joking about it? He publicly said that he was joking about it. I think that should raise some questions.
Oh my God!
Thanks for your time this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
So I can't.
Why is he acting like he was too scandalized? He saw a photo of a hot girl. He said, "I don't know if it's a student. I didn't know who it was. He just showed me a photo of a hot girl on his phone." Like, why is he acting like that scandalized him?
I know.
When he was already actively having sex with the man's wife.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
That doesn't feel like that much of a scandal.
No, he was deep.
Jimmy Snowballs.
Jimmy Snowballs. Yeah. No, I've never snowballed.
Do you know what a snowball is?
Yeah, it's disgusting. Fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it's like a girl would perform on a guy. Then he'd finish in her mouth, and then she'd kiss you.
Gross. Fucking gross. That I've never done.
What was it that you did?
I was fooling around with this girl, and I kissed her. And that was the only thing that happened because she had blown somebody. That was it. I mean, it was just... no, don't try to twist my words. I'm trying to twist my words here, please.
No, I'm
Wow,
sorry.
that's
I'm
not
sorry.
right. Yeah, it's manipulative.
Let's get it. Let's put it on the record. You know?
Please. Please, I don't go
Come
for
on.
that stuff. Come on.
No. Come on. You got a reputation to
I
maintain.
got a reputation to uphold. Please.
Because you blew someone. Oh.
Well, we'll see what happens, I guess, with that, And again, I would have zero interest in this story, zero, if he wasn't a religious person that had preached against this stuff and demonized other people for doing it. Like I think maybe that's most people's interest, I guess, but I would have zero interest if it wasn't for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the reason we're all allowed to enjoy, I think. I mean, I'd be morbidly curious no matter who this person was.
Curious.
Any celebrity having this. But yes, I don't think we could get away with acting like the salacious details were news did it not have that hypocritical element and possibly, like you said earlier, the financial implications of it too.
Well, that's the problem. It's almost like with McDonald's CEO. Like, look, man, I don't care, and I don't know if they care that he might have done something like he shouldn't have slept with this person in the company, but then he didn't tell the truth about it, and if you get paid out like 80 million or 70 million or whatever it is, you better spill the beans to the company because in giving you that payout, you're signing off saying this is all true, and then if they find anything factually not correct, they're going to look to get 60 million or 70 million dollars back. That's what they do.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the latest.
Yeah, I did see that. I thought maybe he had done something else more recent. Maybe they'll just settle on this land issue, whatever the problem is, and move forward. Who knows?
I would imagine
wonder what
at this
happens to a
point,
guy after
that's
this.
the move.
Like, can you still preach? Like the idea of I didn't know what was happening. Like Jimmy Swaggart came out, I have sinned, because I want.
What was he doing though?
He was fucking like the same thing. Like James one of them was Jessica Hahn, and one was like a Swan, something her name was, or Fawn Hall. Oh no, was that Gary Hart? I just don't remember. There's so many scandals like from 25 years ago. But now that Falwell has denied it, can he still preach? Like, can he still be because to me, there's got to be a market for people who believe in God and who believe in most of the like the teachings of the Bible, but also think that they have been kind of twisted and demonized certain sexual preferences. So to me, there's a market for that, for like a really open religious person. You wouldn't have the evangelical, but you wonder, could he do that? Because people do respect him, but maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't do it for 8 figures. He's not making $10 million.
Right.
He can maybe, if he needs to preach, he could find a small audience to get together, but he's not. I mean, Falwell, I mean, what's his name, who you just brought up a minute ago? I don't think that he was ever nationally
Jimmy
recognized
Swaggart,
in the
James
same.
Baker? Oh, yeah, they were. Yeah. You might not remember because you were younger, but Jimmy Swaggart was a big one, and I don't remember how big James Baker was.
Oh, Jessica Hahn was accused Jim Baker of rape while she was employed as the church secretary, and then remember she was in Sam Kinnison's video, wasn't she?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't remember there was
Wild
a crime.
Thing video. Wasn't that her?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. I mean, look, there was also social media carries things differently now, and I think that audiences react differently to things now. It's a lot tougher to kind of brush things under the rug and let certain audiences just pay attention to certain things than it was back then, too.
No, you know what? And those were big. No, those were big stories back then. Like that was a national.
No, I know they're big stories,
media story.
But I think that he was not able to return to being the national figure that he was after the story. You know what I'm saying? Like he did not have the same audience anymore after all that happened. He wasn't able to ever fully recover from it. He didn't disappear, but he didn't fully recover from it.
Jimmy Swaggart was a sex scandal involving a prostitute, and again, I don't remember. I'm not sure if her name was big or not, but I remember when he confessed, "I have sinned." Yeah, his big speech. Yeah, and they suspended him for 3 months. But whatever, it was. I thought there was a person. Like sometimes there's a big name person that becomes attached to these stories.
Remember when Hugh Grant got busted just for going to just a prostitute just to have some sex?
Wait, her name was. It was not something.
Divine Brown.
Divine Brown, I want to say. Yeah, it was Divine Brown.
Divine Brown, yeah.
And he joked about it on the Tonight Show and kind of admitted it, and that was it.
That, I think, was the beginning, too, of Leno beating Letterman in the ratings all the time, right?
Right, that was a huge moment for both of those guys, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, to answer your question before, Daddy has to tinkle. And I think we should take a break. And we do have Ari Shafir today, and he hates when I call him Ari. So therefore, I'm annoyed that I just called him Ari and said it correctly. I'm annoyed at myself.
The president of the Legion of Skanks podcast.
Oh, did he win?
Not only did he win,
good for him. Good.
He beat Luis J. Gomez by like 20 points. It was a landslide.
It was a landslide.
Landslide victory. I mean, he really just crushed everybody, and it really upset Lewis. Lewis is bummed. He doesn't like to lose. Yeah,
I love Lewis, but I mean, who knows? Ari may be the guy to lead them into the future.
I think that's probably true.
I don't think that's crazy to say.
No, I don't think so.
All right, cool.
All right, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Stick around.
Yes, right back.
Shit, and you'd go, oh yeah, this is a song.
Yeah, we can put this out.
We should release this. Yeah.
Date is a date. This is fucking heinous.
But I mean, there wasn't an ounce of creativity or artistic effort put into any part of this song.
No,
it was a top 10.
Yeah,
I mean, according to Troy Kwan, his favorite. Well, no, Troy Kwan, his favorite band's Maroon 5. So according to him, if it charts, it's good. that's Troy's philosophy on music. If it charts, it's good.
We can't hate too much if it's charts.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, Aerosmith the tank was empty at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was empty. It was very empty. So, did Kid Rock and Loretta Lynn, did they just play pretend get married, or as a goof, did they get married while the priest was on the stage?
It has to be.
I think they got married.
How old is she?
It seems like
she's like 88 or 82.
But you still would.
Yeah. It's Loretta Lynn.
Loretta Lynn.
Here's what I might do. I might frig her clit while I was humming Coal Miner's Daughter.
Oh my God.
That's such a great song.
Coal Miner's Daughter is an incredible song. That's not what I was oh my godding about.
Yeah, it's a great song.
No, I'm a big Loretta Lynn fan. Coal Miner's Daughter was incredible. I mean,
I'll say catalog.
She did this album with Jack White as the producer on the album. It was just incredible. The Van Leer Rose, incredible. And that was like, that was obviously late in life, but she's got a ton of great hits. But I do hope that Kid Rock, many great hits. I do hope that Kid Rock married her for real, even though they thought it was just a joke.
Yep.
And then when she dies, he just takes all of her shit and doesn't give anything to the kids. They were like, but this was just like a fun thing. And he was like, yeah, well, tell that to my lawyer, okay?
Plus, who wouldn't want to marry Kid Rock?
That's true. Loretta Lynn posted on her Instagram, sorry, girls, he's taken. And you could just hear the whimpers from women across the country. No, not Kid Rock. The KID? Ladies and gentlemen, joining us, speaking of whimpers from women all across the country.
Yeah.
Now that Kid Rock is married, the sexiest bachelor out there, ladies and gentlemen, Ari Shafir joins us. What's going on, man?
He's the quintessential twat moistener. That's what Ari Shafir is.
That's right.
I mean, I'll take that. That's a definite move up.
What's going on, man? Good.
I was watching some of your podcast with Big J and Soder, and I love the opening you guys do, the 21 Jump Street, showing like pictures of you like going to your prom, and those are awesome photos.
Are they really? Dude, I was in quarantine at my parents' house when we were doing that. So I'm like, I think I can find all my pictures.
And
this is the only place they'd be.
At your parents'
they're
house.
Submitting like one or two pictures, and you're like, well, I have all of mine.
Yeah. Why don't you guys have every yearbook?
I never went to my proms. I went to a prom. I was 22. My girlfriend was 17 or 18, and she had her prom.
Oh, boy.
And I went with her. Like I was like a year or two too old to be there. but I'd never been to a prom, and I went with her and we had a good time, and then she went down the shore with some friends and I wasn't invited. So I suspect she fucked somebody. It was not a good situation.
You didn't get to go?
No, I did not.
At all?
No.
Why would she invite you? Why would she let you go with her to the prom? You're 22. You should be like the cool guy at the prom. We can get them drugs and stuff. Why would she bring you only to be like, okay, now I'm going to the shore with my friends and you can't come?
I have a suspicion.
Yeah, what is it?
I believe she was fucking somebody behind my back. That's what I believe.
Right.
A young virile high school boy behind my back.
Someone she wanted to have sex with.
Yeah, someone she wanted to have sex with, as opposed to a guy who was 4 years older in a warehouse. Yeah.
Was it just girls that went to the shore? Just the girls went to the shore?
No, it's funny. I found out after that there were not just girls at the shore.
It was
There were
co-ed.
boys too. Fucking your girlfriend.
What's that?
There were boys too. All sorts of boys. Fuck boys.
I believe
Fuck
so,
boys.
yes. Although she did say, she pinky swore that she did not fuck any of them. So I have to.
That's sacred.
I believe it.
Yeah. 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 And are you still with her to this day?
I'm not. No, we're still friends, though.
Oh.
No, I don't. I guess I don't blame her.
Do you think you could ask her now?
Yeah. Like,
Do you think you
really
could?
Okay, I'm totally fine. Please, I just want to know. Yeah, settle back.
Sure, I will. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'll ask her.
What are the options?
Yeah, and she would tell you the
truth.
I don't know, because even though I had a girl ask me, like, because again, I've cheated on most of my girlfriends, and I've talked about it in hindsight. It is what it is. And one girl asked me, how many times did you cheat on me? And I said to her, it was enough. Like, you really, like, it was almost like we had that moment, like, where I'll tell you, but you're not going to like it. It's life altering. It was a lot.
The answer to this question.
To compute it.
yeah. And it's so many that even though we're just friends now, you're gonna hate me again because it's so many people.
Yeah, you gotta be like,
you will
do you mean
hate
the
me.
different amount of people or total times with all the people? That's a different answer.
Yeah. A lot.
Yeah.
You ever
I hope
cheated
she
on
would tell
anybody?
you the truth. Did I?
Yeah.
No, I've never cheated on anybody.
You ever got cheated on?
Of course he has.
There was no. I don't think so. There was so there was one instance,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys
This
you
girl
guys
was
tell
out
me
of my league, and she kissed me all the time, once a week.
once a week. Okay, so you guys tell me what happened here, because this was a girl who was out of my league, and we were dating all summer and having a great time, and then one night she was like, I don't think we have to see each other every single night, and I'm like, no, that's totally true. We don't have to see each other every single night. No, that's totally fine. She was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna stay home tonight, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, me too. That's no problem. And so I did, and I'm like, yeah, we're just staying home tonight. And then, like, later, like that night, like late enough that I was in bed already, she called me because she needed me to pick her up from, like, a bar or something. And I was like, why were you at a bar? I don't understand. And she was like, why are you being like this? Because we weren't hanging out. I just went out. And I was like, well, because you had said, and she was like, don't be weird. And I was like, oh, okay. All right, I won't be weird. What do you think happened there?
I think she went out for drinks.
Yeah.
And I think that her legs
said
were
she was
probably
gonna stay in.
sore. She said
she was going
lied.
to stay in.
She was squatting in the bathroom, sucking a dick, and then the guy did the right thing and came in her mouth and said, now call your boyfriend to pick you up. And she did.
I did pick her up, by the way. I did.
Of course
I did
you
pick
did.
her
I
up,
would have too.
Why'd you say, why are you
But-
being weird about this? You're like, what do you mean? You told me you were going to stay in, and then you're not. I mean, the fact that she's snippy is like she's taking out her insides on you.
Yes.
She is. She was being snippy there, and I knew. That's when I was like, something's
I
awry
think
here.
she was
because-
upset. Yeah, she swallowed more cum than she had intended. She intended to swallow a small amount of cum, and maybe the amount of cum got too big for her, and she was just upset and just lashing out at anybody.
I see. So I was hoping that maybe even she intended to swallow some and then didn't swallow any, and so maybe that's what she was upset about. But you're saying it's actually the opposite. It's too much.
No, yeah, I wouldn't be upset if I didn't swallow cum.
I guess that's probably right in hindsight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's
You're
probably
right.
right. Yeah, that was the one. Oh yeah. And there was another girl. This isn't really cheating, but we had dated for a long time, and then we were in college, and she was like, I think I'm attracted to women as well. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Cool. And she was like, yeah, like I think we should take a break because I don't know, I kind of want to meet a girl and like, yeah, date women. I was like, oh, okay, so you want to take a break and date women? She was like, yeah. And then I was like, okay. And then she was like, but we're still like the same. And we were in college, so it was long distance, right?
Sure, yeah.
So it was. We're still same emotional connection, meaning we're calling each other all the time. We're talking to each other all the time. 6 days removed from the conversation of let's take a break so that she could kind of experiment with women. Sure. She had hooked up with a dude.
Wow.
And then I was like furious. I was like, why would you do that? And why are you telling me this? Like, it's no big deal. And she's like, are you serious? We were on a break. I was like, with a specific break. Yeah, you started the break with a specific intended purpose, which was not
Fuck
this.
that dude.
And then, as it turns out, it was probably
that's a stated purpose. Yeah, but she's got to be like, no, it's something you can't argue with. I like girls.
Right, I like girls.
But she wanted to fuck that guy. She wanted to fuck
because it's not like she just met him and 6 days later, like it would. There's no way that happened.
Yeah,
I would suggest that the 6 days is a high number.
I think you're right, Ari. I think she fucked him immediately after. I think the 6 days when she was done fucking him. I think that's when she was finished fucking
She's like, I moved on. I got enough out of that.
Exactly.
I guzzled.
Yeah. Yeah, he made my asshole bleed on the sheets. I'm finished. He pumped my...
It might have been minus 1 day, actually. And then after the first time she fucked him, she was like, hey, I want to see women or some shit.
You think that when she talked to Sam, she already had taken his cum and felt guilty.
Yes.
I think you're right.
Inside her.
Okay.
Yep.
Such.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hindsight being 2020, that you guys do present a very plausible reality.
She was a three-holer. You didn't know it. She was probably a three-holer. Sam. It happens to all of us.
Yeah. So that's the
old 10-pin cell. They're just like,
that's the extent to which I've been, I guess, cheated on.
Sure.
Have you been cheated on, Ari, like directly?
Same thing. Yeah, I don't believe so. So a girl I know, we're at a music show, and the band, this is like 6-piece band, they were talking to her. I was getting drinks. They were talking to her, and she was saying how cool they were. Anyway, she was like, yeah, I just want to go in, Jenna. I just want to, like, don't do anything. I just want to paint. I was like, yeah, totally cool. Dropped her off, went to the comedy store, hung out with Dice. Dice was there in the parking lot, said, oh, yeah, she's getting fucked right now. And I'm like, no, that's totally wrong. And he's like, yeah, for sure. So I drove back to her place to see her parking spot. Her car was gone. But I'm sure she was out there.
So Dice just knew she was getting fucked? He just knew, right? I mean, I've had a weird, like...
Maybe she parked her car in a different spot, though.
Yeah, right? We dropped... Her car was already there. That she's like, I'm staying here for the night. That she left, and then... Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah.
Right?
I had a girl I was seeing, I suspect she sucked another guy's dick. I think, like, I'm pretty sure she... Yeah. I'm pretty sure she did.
What gives you the idea?
Because I was watching her do it, and then we made out. So I think that she...
that could sometimes be a giveaway.
Jim, I don't know if that counts as infidelity, Jim.
Oh, no, I was very hurt. I was like, Jesus Christ. Did you have to have your mouth full of cum? I mean, I was outraged. I was outraged with that disrespectful behavior.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible that she would do that to you. She would trick you like that.
It's a good word for that. It's a lack of respect.
Disrespectful.
It was a lack of respect.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like when I don't trust you to make out with me to not have your mouth full of semen. I don't know when I can trust
exactly.
you.
I mean, whatever. We've lost some type of connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did you swallow it after that, Jim?
That's disgusting, dude. I mean, I felt that to err on the side of caution, I preferred to be courteous and not make a mess. But I mean, it's disgusting.
Oh, it was disgusting. Oh,
yeah. But if a girl gives you something, you don't want to hurt her feelings and be rude.
No, that's true. That's true. It's like home cooking. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to pretend you enjoy it, and then after you leave, you're like, hey, cut that out.
Hey, let's not cook ever again.
Hey, don't do it again. Hey,
not again.
Hey.
Not again. I'm not paying for this again.
Yeah, maybe wait a couple days and be like, "Hey,
I'm glad you put your foot down, Jim.
Oh, I did. I'm like, this is the last time $500 goes out the window like this.
yeah, you're a good boss."
$500.
Yep. A lot of
Disrespectful. Doesn't
Very
care about your business
disrespectful.
almost.
I know. It
Are
bothered
you-
me a lot. I'm still scarred by it.
Are you a cheater, Ari? Do you cheat on girlfriends? Or have
No,
you?
but I have before in the past. Yeah,
You have.
felt
Yeah.
good in the moment.
Did you
Actually,
get caught?
That's good. No, I didn't get caught. It was just like I went home for like a visit, and some skank in college still there. Yeah, I used to blast away inside of her. It was great.
That's
She
awesome,
was.
right?
She'd be shocked if she doesn't have herpes now.
Was she on the pill or natural?
Doubtful.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this was Maryland trash, dude. It's a specific type. It was one step removed from Wild Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
Right.
And you left it in?
Well, yeah, one time she told me I couldn't leave it, and I had to pull out, and then I pulled out and shot it on the wall because I didn't know about cum shots yet.
Oh,
Shot it on the wall nearby her bed. She got upset.
yeah.
Now, you said
Why
it
didn't she
felt-
want you to
you
leave
said-
it in? Probably a bad day, right? It was probably the ovulation.
Maybe she's like, today's the day I can't get pregnant. Those I have had so many of those chicks from my past post pictures on Instagram as pregnant chicks.
Oh.
All the chicks were like, "No, I can't get pregnant. You're fine."
Yeah.
And now they're
It's a
pregnant.
subtle
You're like, oh,
trap.
boy.
Yeah, but
Yeah. I never told my girlfriend, but I was like, I should have done that, but not enough to like tell her.
Right.
yeah. You don't have, you don't have
Right,
to
so you did-
confess.
But you did, yeah, because a lot of times people confess.
Why?
They're not trying to
Don't
make
do
the
it.
girlfriend feel better. They're trying to make themselves feel better.
Right.
Or maybe
you
she'll
know?
be like, hot, and you're like, yes, best case scenario.
Yeah, maybe. Probably. Yeah, it's worth trying, right?
Yeah. Make yourself feel better a little, and then roll those dice.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anybody that would ever confess to that, and they're really doing it for altruistic reasons. Like, they're really doing it because it's like, she deserves to know the truth. It's always just because it's weighing on you,
Yeah.
and you have to
Yeah.
get it off your chest.
You unburden your cross and make her cross heavier.
Ah, that's so
Yeah.
well said. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, that's very good.
And then there
very
were
good.
only one set of footprints because I was carrying you. It's like,
I like that a lot. I've heard that before. It sounds familiar. I like that. That's kind of a good message because you doubt him. Oh, by the way, you in the religion angle, you get it. Now, how do you speak fluent? I guess Yiddish or Hebrew?
Hebrew, so I'm not so fluent anymore.
Oh,
Wait,
but
what do
you
I
did-
get with the religious angle?
No. Just the idea. I forget that you knew so much about it. Like you understand that. Like you understand the thinking of really religious people.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because you were gonna be a
God, those-
rabbi.
yeah. I saw a few
I love
Jews
Moses.
today on a hike. They don't get out of the way.
What's that?
Jews, Orthodox Hasidic Jews, they don't get out of the way. When you're hiking, they don't excuse me. They also go through yellow lights a lot more than everyone else.
Really? Sam
Oh,
was
yeah.
saying that. I've never noticed.
Yeah. Where
I've
do you
never
live? You don't
said
live
that
in
before in my life.
Just take it. Yeah, dude, Hasidic Jews, they don't give a shit about your life. So they'll be a little more likely to go through a yellow or like an orange.
Here's what I heard about Hasidic Jews. Like, nobody really fucks with them. Like, you always assume that are they armed? Like, they don't seem like pushovers at all. Like,
No,
I was talking to
because
somebody
they'll-
recently. They don't get fucked with.
No, maybe you're right. It's weird because you think they'd be super victim-y, but you're like, what do they have underneath that trench coat? Could be a weapon. And also, you got to think they're going to team up later. They're organized. So, like, why mess with them? But you're right. They don't get fucking messed with.
No, in the street, you don't see them as being like victims in the street. I'm not saying it never happened, but I've always heard that a lot of those guys that were like in a lot of the jewelry places on 6th Avenue were armed. I've heard a lot because again, you're in that business, you got to be fucking armed. So I always assume people just I don't know why, but people never seem to fuck with those guys, which is I guess a good thing.
What a missed opportunity. I can tell you from experience, they're not strong. Do it. And they can't tell fucking, for sure not black people apart, but mostly white people, they can't tell apart either. So go for it.
Yeah, I don't know. They just don't seem like victimizable people, I guess. I don't know, but they always seem like strong individuals. Like
Yeah,
not
and they stay in their own
necessarily
neighborhoods
physically.
a lot.
Well, they're also strong as a community. They stick together. So it's like if you mess with one, you mess with everybody. So that's part of it, I think.
Have you ever heard of somebody
I
getting
don't know.
beat up by a group of Hasidic people?
No, I watched a documentary about somebody trying to get out of the Hasidic community and how they made their life hell. But I didn't see them getting into any fights.
No problem mugging one, though. I'm just saying, there's a missed opportunity out there in the streets with a Z.
I've never heard of any type of altercation. Again, maybe I have, and they just didn't say that the guy was Hasidic. But for some reason, when you see Hasidic guys walk, they always look like they're walking with a purpose. And I don't know why, but they just look like even though you know they're really religious.
They talk on flip phones a lot.
Do they?
They're constantly talking on flip phones or
I never noticed that.
Smartphones.
Yeah, they just don't look. I don't know why they don't, but they don't look like they're to be fucked with.
And they're also not going out to bars. They don't put themselves in situations. It would just be like walking home late at night from yeshiva, from a good Gemara study, and then somebody rolling. But what money would they have? They're not going to buy anything.
You know, Modi. I love Modi.
And plus, don't they have their own?
Oh, sorry. What was
I was going to say, don't they have their own neighborhoods?
They
like where it's
Bed-Stuy
right. So who's coming into their neighborhood to fuck with them?
Yeah, I remember you were saying how good that was, Sam, and how they should stay there, which I thought was really inappropriate. I didn't agree with that.
What you mean, Sam? Like they shouldn't be allowed to integrate? I'm open to new ideas.
I don't remember saying anything like that.
Modi does, like he does, and I've talked about this on the air before because it's fascinating to me. Like him and Elon do those shows where they make like people like it's such a different world. What's that? Yeah, they make a lot of money. And they're making people laugh who I could never make laugh. Like literally really orthodox religious people who would never enjoy my act. It's a world that I've never been exposed to. And I'm dying to go with Modi and watch one of these shows.
You should. I bet it would be like when you go to a show in Belgium after your show's over and then you're like, oh, I'll see a local fucking show. And you just watch it in their language or like Norwegian or something and you kind of can half get it. I bet you would get way more of that with Modi and Elon. But all the references would be like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, he's told me. I said to him once, "Tell me one of the jokes that you would tell to a really orthodox audience." And he told it to me, and he goes, and the punchline was like kind of half in Yiddish, and you could tell it had the structure of a joke. I didn't get it because I don't speak Yiddish or Hebrew. But it's like obviously it's a huge market that's untapped. Like there's a lot.
He did one joke about it was a play on words about the type of material that goes on the roofs of those huts they have for 8 days every October.
Is it on the balconies?
Yeah, on the balconies a lot. And the type of stuff on top is called chaf, and I think he did a play on words on that. But like in English, but like you would never get that.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Here's what I knew about that. I said the balconies. That's all I knew. Balconies.
They all have bars in their windows too. In Bed-Stuy, you can be 5 stories up with no fire escape. They got bars in their windows.
Why?
Isn't that interesting that they all have bars on their windows? They never get mugged, and they all have bars on their windows.
Yeah.
Cautious folks.
Never been hijacked at all.
I don't know.
Now, speaking of hijacking, by the way, Ari.
Yes.
We should congratulate you for actually hijacking the Legion of Skanks election and now basically hijacking the entire podcast as you did not only, and I watched it, and Lewis was legitimately pissed. That you not only won he was pissed. You not only won the Legion.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, here's what was so
great.
great.
So, but like, legitimately, his mood changed immediately after it did not win.
Yeah, because Ari won the Legion of Skanks podcast presidency election, and he won it by a landslide. Like he won it by like 20%, like a lot.
I had 48% of the vote. Ari went at 52.
What's that? I didn't hear you.
And
I had 48% of the vote. The other 3 combined had 52%.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when Ari was when Lewis was doing
really stumped for votes.
He did. He did. It's embarrassing. And when he was doing his concession speech, Ari started having his mic turned off, which is the most obnoxious thing you could do.
Oh, no.
That's what he did as president. He was like, listen, it was a hard thought. Fuck you! Fuck you! That was great. It was so much fun. Yeah, there was no reason I should be president. I just kept offering the viewers gifts every week. Vote for me.
Yeah. And he did. Lewis campaigned really hard. Like the other two kind of gave up. Dave and Jay kind of gave up completely. But Lewis was like, no, I'm not letting this one go. Yeah.
It was so good. Oh my god!
You should stop doing the show now.
I didn't come in this week. I'll just we do get to veto guests. So if you're a guest on there, I can't wait for the first one. We're like, hey, Mark Norman will be on this on Monday if you guys want to come in, and I'll just reply, actually, he won't.
Oh, it's
so
just
fun.
Great.
Dude, the whole thing. Soda said we're not allowed to promote these on our own other podcasts. So Soder decided to represent me and be my super PAC so he could promote me on Big J at his radio show. And Big J had because of the campaign rules. Soder had officially nothing to do with me.
Because Big J, Big J couldn't campaign for himself.
Yeah, so it was like,
so he's just got
Jay, you can't think of anyone else to vote for, can you? And he's like, so fucking great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, there's no
awesome.
campaigning anywhere else. You only on Legion of Skanks.
Yeah, that was the rule. I ran a bit of foul. I think I said it on here.
It's all right.
Lewis is going to hold that against me, but
a little. Are you saying a little bit of election misappropriation, perhaps?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean,
to 60% of the vote.
Yeah, we might have gotten you an extra 1 or 2%. We didn't get you 20.
No fucking way. Not that much.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fucking toolbox. And when he didn't win, he got legitimately angry. You saw it, didn't you, Sam? He was like, his mood soured hard. The new catchphrase of Legion of Skanks is hashtag haha, you care. It's the best feeling. Yeah.
You just put in all this work to make it so that Lewis cared about something, just so you can point out, haha, you lost, and I can tell you care.
It doesn't matter to me. You care a lot.
Well, it was a hard-fought battle, and I think you deserve to win. I like those guys, but I feel that you need fresh blood once in a while, and I think that was the right move.
Thanks, man. Jump on board the winner train.
Yeah.
Although I did hear that last night's podcast, I'm being informed, they decided to officially announce they're going to try to impeach you, and listed the articles of impeachment on last night. So, I mean, you want to talk about caring?
2 years, bro. They're trying to impeach me. Under what auspices? That's a word.
Yes, it is.
Is it a 2-year term?
Yeah, they upped it last second. Like, how long is this, by the way? Like 1, 2, 4? And they were just like, 2? Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah. So immediately, Shane Gillis, my vice president of Mayhem, they had this thing called Battle of the Badass Bands that Lewis loves. And Shane was like, dude, no one cares. I've talked to fans. We're not doing that anymore. It's done. We're done. And Lewis was like, no, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm telling you it's over, man. We're not doing it. So stop.
Nobody in your cabinet is actually on the show.
No, that's exactly right. Yeah, Jim, we gotta have some trans office. You can.
Oh, I think that's a great idea. Somebody to represent the trans community that can really put the Legion of Skanks in line. I think that's a great idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me think. I might have 400 or 500 people I can recommend.
I think you should. I think you should do stuff like that. I think you should make an effort to have a lot more guest inclusion. Make it a woke show. Like that if like equal time, if you're going to put a white guy on, you got to put a girl on, you got to put an Asian guy on, you got to put a trans person on. Like all viewpoints should be heard on Legion of Skanks.
Yeah. Or at least a smell my finger situation where you can if that person was on your finger still, you could all right, that counts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100%.
Black chick, let me smell. All right. Black's included now.
That counts.
Yeah.
That counts. Yeah.
You should be able to
something
smell
like
the person on your finger.
Listen, I'm open to suggestions for sure.
Well, let me ask you, as the president, how much leeway do you have? Like now, are they allowed to, Congress or whatever can kind of, the president can veto what they do. So checks and balances. Are there any checks and balances?
Yeah, man. Well, this is the kind of shit that George Washington had to deal with. No one really knows. So it will be interesting. But I'll tell you what, people thinking of overthrowing me, I'll consider that a coup and I will call for violence. So how do you want to play it? Do you want people to get hurt or do you want to fucking settle into this? Nice and easy.
Now, do you have the ability to throw one of them out if you want to? As the president, since it's not been decided, if you wanted one of the Legion of Skanks to be thrown out, are you permitted to do that?
Let me look at the bylaws really quickly.
Yeah. Check it out. You may be allowed to remove somebody with cause.
Or maybe somebody is, maybe Lewis is campaigning a little hard to get Ari impeached. Maybe Lewis needs to be taken off for 4 weeks or something like that.
Yeah. Article 1-03 2.0 says, if you try too hard, watch your fucking back.
Yep. And I think that makes perfect sense.
There it is.
And I do love Lewis, but obviously if he's trying to sway the vote, and if he's questioning the election
not
results.
accepting the results of an election? There's no democracy.
Bad stuff. It's a bad
Maybe in your home country of fucking Dominica, where the fuck you're from. But
right.
Bad message.
Right. And I do like that you have decided not to continue to be a regular like you're not going to be on every show. Because you're the president, like you're a little too big for that. You're not the day-to-day guy.
Exactly. You guys handle it. I'll come in when you need something. When legit work gets done.
When you need guidance or instruction, or when the rule of law has to be established, you step in and take care of it.
I'll come off the golf course and help. In the meantime, build this fucking wall, peons.
Yeah. You should just turn it into regular radio, where basically you're there to just let them like be creative and come up with stuff, and then you come in and just be like, "Sorry guys, you can't do that."
Yeah, I'll be the head of Sirius XM or whatever. The guy who's always Howard Stern's always like shitting on when he does the FM days. He's like John, whatever the name is. I'll just be that. I'm like, guys, come on, the people don't want this. Let's try to news and weather. Come on, get back to news and weather.
Live and local, guys. Let's go live and local.
Let's have an inclusivity report. We're breaking it right now. Yeah.
Where are they doing their show? Because I know that they have been at Creek and Cave, and again, I haven't been on in a long time. Where are they?
I'm not really sure. Undisclosed location, somewhere in the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
But they're doing it, so it's great. While we can, we're doing it. I don't know. I guess they got to move to indoors, or we'll see what happens in the winter.
Oh, because of what's been going on. Yeah, okay. I wasn't thinking. Well, I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Anyway, it was fun as shit. Announcing Soder as my vice president, and then having Shane just come after DeRosa. Sorry, not Soder. After DeRosa was triumphantly touting himself as a vice president, Shane just showed up. It's like, it's actually me, dude. It's not you.
Why did you decide to push DeRosa out of office? I mean,
he was never going to be. He was just a fuck with him the whole time.
He's a puppet.
He was never fit.
So you're just fucking with DeRosa. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know that Lewis was part of Lewis's campaign was that if he won, he would never have DeRosa on Legion of Skanks again. So I'm assuming that a big part of your campaign is regular DeRosa pop-ins.
Yeah.
It was until I was like, I will also go the other way. You got to zig when they wanted you to zag, right? So obviously you would think I would just do that, but I'm also for Team No DeRosa. Joe DeLuza.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
In fact, guys, I would say you guys shouldn't have him on either. He's kind of a loser. And why don't there's a gap between these podcasts and radio shows?
I'm for that, Jim. Should we, I guess. I mean, Ari's a pretty smart guy. Yeah, should we ban DeRosa, I guess?
I like Joe, but the reality is I don't want any problems with Ari or any of the other guys on Legion. So I would say for now, until this is worked out, he's banned. I think he should be banned temporarily until this whole thing is settled, until the score is settled. We don't know what's going on, so we should literally just. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, we're and you could tell DeRosa too. Like we're trying to be impartial here because we both like Joe, but also we just don't want to be involved. We can't handle the heat that's around right now. So just until things cool off. We're all friends, and Joe can do his thing, and I don't know what he's doing, but he can do it. And he's banned for now.
For now,
wow. Guys, I applaud your strength and courage in order to make the world you want to see a reality.
Thank you. Well, Ari, you have been historically a good decision maker. So we're kind of following your lead on this. You rarely do anything. Kids. Yeah. You rarely do anything questionable. So, I feel like we could trust your judgment on this one.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow, what an exclusive. Joe DeRosa banned from Jim and Sam show.
Yeah, but we don't even know what he's done. But I just know that there's this whole conflict, and we don't want to be involved, and we don't want to rock the boat. We figure he should be banned for a while until everything's worked out.
Yeah, neither one of you are in the kitchen right now, and I believe the saying goes, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. And you've stayed out of the kitchen. You guys can't stay
out of the kitchen.
Now,
we're out of the kitchen.
Should we have Joe on to explain his side of it, or would that count as an appearance?
I mean, definitely not in studio. Even if they go back to in studio, if there's a vaccine tomorrow, I would still say stay away from in studio.
Okay.
Right. You know what could be interesting? Even
What's
if we
that?
have the ability to zoom in, maybe we make him call. Maybe it still has to be a phone.
That's called meeting me halfway, and that's how Israel and the UAE got together. It's meeting me halfway.
And like we could have like even when we book him, he could be like, "Well, do the guys want me to zoom in?" And no, it's just a phone call. It's just a phone call.
Yeah, sell it to him like, nah, you don't have to put pants on or anything. You know, you can just
Right.
But like, yeah, that's a good way to do it. You can let him call it.
Okay.
Right. And just and
more
do it
than I
like
was
traditional. Do like a 15-minute phoner type thing, not like a full-on hang or anything like that.
No.
Yeah.
Set him up 2 times. Be like, oh, what are your setups? do it like that.
Yeah.
What do you need us? Your jokes.
Yeah, what do you want us to anything you want us to help you with and get into? I was actually going to do an email thing, but if you want to have him on through phone, I think we can.
Oh, email might be good.
Yeah,
email
might be good. Yeah.
I just
Email
want you
could
to
be
know
actually.
you're off the show. We can't be on. Just, it's time. It's nothing personal. It's just like whatever. I have you want to.
No.
And then just be like, if you want to say anything, maybe let me know your feelings, but this is how we're standing. And then whatever your response, just read out loud.
And then we'll get one of our staffers to read it.
That'd be good. That'd be smart.
Yeah.
Maybe Dio Gomez.
Yeah.
Or any of those people. Yeah.
Hey, are you guys?
Yeah, I think that's my pick. Probably Dio or maybe Kyle. Maybe we'll have Kyle read it.
Kyle Firestein. Wait, is that the gay guy's brother?
It is. Yes.
Probably not son.
Yep.
What was the gay guy? The
brother.
super gay guy?
Harvey
Firestein. Yeah.
Yep.
Is that what his name was?
The guy that talks like
so.
that, like him.
Yeah, from Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, he was also in Independence Day. Believe me, I know this guy. Yeah, Harvey Firestein. Yeah,
that was the
He
guy
was in
I saw
Mrs.
before I knew what
Doubtfire.
gay was, and I'm like, he talks weird.
yeah, he's really flamboyant.
Yeah, like when he was in Mrs. Doubtfire and he was like the guy, like he designed the woman makeup and he was talking like this and had like all the, and you were like, I wonder what that guy's deal is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, when I was a kid, I didn't know Paul Lind was gay. Like, it didn't get really talked about. You didn't know.
Right. It was for adults to just be aware of, but it was never something you would say.
Yeah.
Liberace. Yeah. I wonder if people even knew. When my dad met my first gay friend, he was like, when we brought up, he's like, that guy's gay. Like, what? Really? He's like a flamboyant. Like, you must just not have any picture of what gay is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like in the 80s, there were women who were like Liberace would go on like Regis and Kathy Lee, and they'd be like, "Oh, the ladies love Liberace, just swimming in puss, Liberace."
Yeah,
it's so grand. Yeah.
Well, maybe your dad knew, but didn't want to acknowledge it because he didn't want to think that if you're this close to this flamboyant guy, he might have thought you were gay. So he might have been thinking that.
That is very possible. I've been hit on many times in other countries by dudes.
Have you?
Oh, yeah. It's like rarely do I get hit on by a woman outside of America.
Now, how do they hit on you? Verbally or physically or just by, is it a wink and a smile or is it just like
One time, this dude in Myanmar was like, hey, if you're not from around here, do you need help getting around? I was like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to meet my friends. He said, all right, well, if you need any help, let me know. Here's my number. Gave me his card. It was just a ripped off piece of paper on a number. I took it. I was like, oh, thanks. And he goes, so do you want to fuck?
And I went right for it, huh?
Yeah, I went right for it. And I was like, no, not at all. And he goes, all right, well, maybe call me. We can hang out. I'm like, no, dude, you shot your load. It's already in.
Yeah. I'm not going to. Yeah.
I feel like we can't go back to just being just friends.
Yeah, I thought you might want a blowjob. No, fine. I mean, I'm happy to show you the state capitol. But I mean, I just thought maybe you want your dick sucked. If you don't, that's fine. We'll go sightseeing. It's all good.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, no problem.
That's when you have to tell him, like, no, I don't mean I don't want to fuck right now. I mean, I don't want to at all. Like, it's not just not.
I don't want you to work.
Not at all.
Yeah.
yeah. It's not at all ever.
Yeah. He didn't rush it.
He really went for it. That's funny.
I think I was in a gay neighborhood. I'm not sure, but it must have been. It's such a bold move to have that.
It is. I'm sure it works.
He was
a lot
walking
of times.
around. He didn't write his number on a piece of paper. He already had ripped up pieces of paper with his number on. Like, there you go.
Wow. Maybe he was like a male escort.
Ooh.
Maybe he was like he would tell you, he'd get you all worked up. You said yes. Yeah. Now you're thinking about it, and then right before he's like, "That'll be $150."
Oh, right. Well, you can't say no. It's already too late.
Right.
Those
Right.
chicks with herpes always got me that way. Like, I have herpes, but I'm like, I'm almost at penetration. And I'm
You're
like,
already
oh,
lathered up. You're already lathered up.
Exactly. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
What kind of man would be like, oh, let me rethink this? No way.
Right now, and you go, all right. Well, I'm sure to. I'm
sure
sure
there's a cure
to be
for herpes,
fine.
right? I'll look it
Yeah, I
up
think
later.
she's like, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
you're already
if there
there,
was
what
a
are you
cure
gonna
for
do?
herpes, yeah, you probably would have not had
You
it.
probably would have. Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
But, you know.
Reasoning in that moment.
But you
No,
didn't-
but not in a moment. But that's not when you're known for your best reasoning. Any of us,
Dude, I stuck it into a chick in Nashville when she was like, I was like, hey, just, you don't have anything, right? And you would like, just in case you would have an abortion, if it, just trying to like, cover my bases. And she was like, no, I don't have anything, but no, I would definitely not get an abortion. Like, oh, really? She goes, yeah, there's no way. I'm very against abortion. I was like, oh, okay. Still stuck it in raw for a couple pumps. That's how fucking nuts we are in those moments.
Yep.
I mean, no plausible deniability. Just like, no, I would for sure have it. And it's like, wow, would we?
we make these decisions. Like, for instance, Sunday night at 6 p.m. at Soul Joel's in Royersford, Pennsylvania. Ari will be there with his full balls. I didn't want to forget to plug the gig that you're doing. It's
Thanks, buddy.
Oh yeah.
the live comedy is coming back a little bit. Ari is
Outdoors.
hilarious. What's that?
Outdoors.
Outdoors, yeah, of course. And so
This is the spot. Don't forget too. This is the spot where Ari had arranged a hit on
right.
Big J Okerson. Now Ari has returned to the scene of
right.
the crime to just demonstrate how easy it is to perform stand-up comedy there and not get physically attacked.
without a violent altercation.
That's one thing. It shouldn't be that hard. I don't think Jay understands that. I don't think it should be that hard to not anger people into, or, fall prey to an assassination attempt. And Joel was so happy with how much press we got him from sending that guy to beat the shit out of Jay that he was like, all right, you get a free booking. We're going to bump Ricky Velez this week. So he was supposed to be on. So if you have Ricky Velez, it ain't happening. Sorry.
That's fantastic.
Ari Shafir now. September 6th, this Sunday.
That's fantastic.
Yep. And basically, so what you're going to do, if any women there, Ari has notoriously big, full balls, and he will not
That's
pull
right.
out. So any women that are having some financial troubles that may want an 18-year financial commitment from a guy who's on the rise, go see Ari live.
I think I saw Ari's balls before I even had a conversation with him.
Is that true?
Yes, I believe it's true. I believe that the first time that I ever shared a room with you, you might have placed them on Stalker Patty's shoulder for a moment.
Oh, yeah. You were there back then.
Yeah.
What a gentleman.
Yeah.
What a gentleman.
Yeah.
Stalker
Yeah.
Patty. What's she doing now? I heard she started the virus.
She did. She started Corona. And so she's just been kind of watching the mayhem ensue that she started.
That all the freaks from the old O&A days now have their own shows on XM only. It's only on the XM version of Sirius XM, and they all have their own with big followings, hundreds of people. Bobo's got his own thing, and all the people have their fucking.
Yeah, Big A's doing his thing. Big A's doing mornings only on XM. Yeah.
You can press his top and he'll throw up after having too much sugar.
Yeah.
That was Pat from Munaki. I'm sorry.
Pat from Munaki, yeah.
Who I miss, by the way. I haven't talked to Pat in so long. I really miss him. Like when I think of these guys, I'm like, fuck, I miss that guy. I miss talking to him. He was really funny.
He was actually he's probably the smartest of the freaks. He was like smarter than us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, good time.
So how has Skeptic Tank been going? I saw you had Karen on very recently. I heard very good things about the Karen Feeham episode.
Yeah, she does this shit where she just takes a bunch of money from dudes online. It's crazy.
She does FinDom stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Does she really? Wow.
Send me money, you fucking loser. And dudes go for it. Jim, you probably get that shit. You probably like borderline that stuff a little, right?
I understand the attraction of it, but the idea of
You're worthless. You're fucking worthless. Give me some fucking money, idiot.
No, see, it had to be a dirty thing for me. Like that wouldn't do it for me. It would have to be like, you can crawl behind me and smell my ass. Give me $6. Like, it couldn't be
right.
Blackmail stuff didn't turn me on, or just give me all your money didn't turn. There had to be like a little give and take element to it. But I understand the turn on of just sending money, but it has to be. There has to be some type of a sensual,
I'm
dirty
playing basketball.
connection.
Lick my fucking nuts right now. It's disgusting. And you're like, okay.
I would have I would have porn stars on all the time when I was doing the nighttime show, the solo show. Yeah. And I would get into all this is when I first kind of realized how big a thing this was. There was one porn star that came on and she didn't expressly say it was FinDom stuff. I don't know. I think she was trying to mask some of the details, but she literally quit porn for a year because there was a guy. There was just a guy that was paying her rent and bought her a car.
Wow.
And so she just didn't do anything. She just did nothing. She didn't live with him. He had a family. He had a family.
And he still wanted to support her and have her? Did he fuck her or no?
No.
Wow.
He didn't even live in the same state. He just sent her money for rent every month.
Was she hot?
And he bought her a car. Yeah, she was hot.
And she had a career, so she was a name?
Yes.
FinDom, by the way, is financial domination.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so funny.
There was another one.
But some people probably don't know that. You're right.
Yeah.
That's how who wouldn't know that?
Yeah. Who would know that? Why would you know that?
There was because some of them don't even meet people in person. It's just over email and PayPal. They never meet in person. There was one though that I saw that she said that she had one guy who she would meet in person, and she would wait until it was raining, it was pouring rain.
Yeah.
And she would make him pick her up, drive to an ATM, run across the street in the pouring rain, and just pull out whatever the maximum was of the ATM and hand her the cash and then drive home. No fucking, no nothing.
That's so crazy.
Yes. And I was like, and this is, that's it. That's the whole interaction. And then she insults him.
What a girl said to me one time, or she might have been talking about, it was FinDom stuff, and I kind of understood the turn on. She was talking about it, and she said something like, yeah, I'm going to rape that wallet. But it was such a dirty, weird thing. I'd never heard that term. I was like, yeah, I get why that would be sexy to somebody. Thank God that was never my thing, just to run to an ATM in the rain, and here you go, take this.
Yeah. It's the worst of both worlds.
I think it's humiliation for sure. It's that cuckold humiliation thing.
Maybe,
but I also think it's doing something so wrong. If people found out, because so often these people that are doing it have families. They have a wife and kids.
Money to who?
Yeah. Imagine if you suspect that your husband has a gambling problem or something, and you're thinking this is the worst case scenario. I can't believe he's spending all our money on gambling, and then you realize no. He's just sending it to some porn star who he's not even fucking.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy. Just giving it to them for what? For this interaction, for the fear of this happening. It was.
Yeah. It was for this. For this to not happen. For me to jerk off thinking about how this could happen. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to lose the money. If they were me, run across the street in the rain with pouring rain and go invest wisely. I'd be I could do this in the sun. You're demeaning me, okay? Yeah.
Go
invest wisely. That would be a real turn on. And then jerk off, tell me how much you made.
She gets it, and I'm getting wet.
I've been watching a bunch of YouTube videos lately that are
cool. It's an awesome site.
It really is. Some of the most innovative people I've seen in years.
Video after video.
You gotta see it. Over there. Yeah, and the way the internet is, it's you could just play them and they work, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
it really is cool.
If you don't know about YouTube, check it out.
It's so cool. Yeah. YouTube.com is the website.
Yeah.
I'm doing this funny thing on stage where I pretend I don't know what the internet is. The interwebs, and people are he doesn't know.
No, you said it wrong. You said it wrong. Yeah, that's fine. Do you ever go like this? Yeah, I was on the Facebook.
Yeah,
the Twitter.
Watching the MTV. He's older. Fine. Doesn't quite get it.
He's old, yeah.
We've all navigated.
Is that from Letterman? I've seen so many comics, especially alt comics, do that over the years.
I don't know where it began. You're right. The in front of it. Yeah,
and it's made for a joke. They're hacking it.
Yeah.
I don't know where it started. That's a good question. Maybe it was Letterman who started that. Maybe he did that first, then people kind of took it.
Yeah, but I keep watching videos of people who are they're taking calls from scammers. Who the scam is they call you and then they tell you that they're going to fix your computer, and then they get you to share your screen with them, and then they start installing all kinds of viruses and figuring out where you keep your money and take your money, right? But what these super smart computer people do is they set up a virtual PC. And then they have some kind of software that allows them to look back on the computer that's looking at them So while the scammer's looking at their computer, they don't realize that the guy they're trying to scam is looking back. And like they show like they're having like Skype conversations with the network of people that are all doing this together. So just like 20 minutes in, the guy starts calling the scammer by his real name and telling him where he's actually from and what company he really works for. And you just listen to these guys panic. And you can see, like, in the Skype conversations, they go, delete the Skype history. Delete the Skype history.
It's so great.
Now, are they
so
real?
Great.
That's real?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's real. I mean, it might. Who knows? But I think it's real.
When people get theirs, it's like no greater justice in the internet. It's like when you ever see those things where you tie a string or a rope to a bike and then just live there, wait for someone to jump on and try to ride off with it. And then as soon as the rope gets, whoop, and it just gets the road.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Sam, what are these videos called? What's the name of the group of videos?
Oh yeah.
Let me.
Because I just put in got caught, and I couldn't find people who don't know how to Google. I just put in the phone.
The guy Sam was talking about, the one with the scammer, the fisher, or something like that.
I googled Skype delete.
Let me look in my maybe in my history or something.
Oh, now find it.
Sam, did you never do this? Was it all made up? Are you looking for it now for the first time?
I think so too. I think he just made this
I'm
up
just
for
trying
the
to search
story.
it out.
He's hoping something that ties in with it.
Yeah,
I wanted you guys to think I was cool.
It worked.
This one is called one. I haven't watched this one yet. It's in my saved things, but it's called "Showing a Scammer His Real Details." And it's like 14 and a half minutes long.
All right, let's let's all just watch it and not talk.
That should be pretty good for radio. Yeah.
It's hard when you sing each other because it seems like we're recorded, but it's like not. You can't do like hand motions and stuff.
Calling scammers by their real names. Is that the one, Sam? Is that what you mean?
That might be it. Actually, that might be the one that I watched yesterday.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Because they're so good, and like you're in it for the long haul. Yep. That's the one I watched. Calling scammers by their real names. It's got like 14 million views on it.
Do they show the guy's real face?
I don't know if they do or not. I don't remember. But like they definitely, he shows, the whole thing is a share screen thing. It's not some like YouTuber with the quick cuts and the like, it's a straight up like screen sharing. And the guy's super calm. He's like, no, but I know where you're from. Like he's British. And they're like, oh, sir, you don't know where I'm from. He's like, yes, I do. And he just starts really calmly saying where he's from. And then he starts like, I don't know if his boss's name, like say his boss's name, Bill. He's like, were you going to tell Bill about this? And the guy's like, because he realizes that how would you know I was just talking to Bill on Skype? Are you looking at my screen the way I'm looking at your screen? And yeah, it's...
wait, so you're saying, hold on. You're saying with the screen share, not that he can see the guy's face, but he can see the guy's screen.
The screen.
Oh,
the screen. So he can see.
Okay.
So the scammer can see what's going on the guy's computer, but the scammer doesn't realize that the guy can see what's happening on the scammer's computer. So at one point, like devious. The scammer, it's so great. At one point, the scammer starts looking for a webcam, and the guy can see he's looking. He's like, "This is a virtual PC. I don't have a webcam set up." And the scammer's just like,
that's so fucking good.
As we've said so many times, when the predator becomes the prey, that is when things get interesting. Go ahead, Sam, finish.
No, I mean, I think you said it best there, Jim. I think that was, I don't know how to come back.
Now I understand. I misunderstood what you.
Oh, yeah. So you don't see the face the whole time. No, you see what he's doing on his computer the whole time. You see when he's chatting with his boss. You see when he's chatting with the other people on the like hacking network or the scam network or whatever. It's great. It's great.
All right, guys, I gotta go.
All right,
okay,
pal.
Ari.
Good talking to you, buddy.
Good talk.
Sunday night,
40
6
minutes
p.m.
outside Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Soul Joel's in Royersford, Pennsylvania. If you're in the Philly area, go see Ari Sunday night, 6 p.m. Monday's Labor Day, so AriShafir.com.
See you, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you, Ari. Always great.
Congratulations.
Hey, thank you very much. If you're thinking about committing suicide, guys, give it one more day. Wish you could just step back from that ledge, my friend. That's President of Gangs of America, Ari Shafir. See you guys later.
Awesome.
That's
awesome.
Excellent.
Very much. You just saved me in a way you don't understand. Thank you. Yeah, I guess we should take a break. That's pretty interesting. Now I may actually watch that. I mean, I've got to come in 20 minutes. You know.
No, I know.
Would you hate me if I was good natured all the time?
Yeah. It would be It'd be tough to get through. Yeah.
Yeah, or if I saw this on Skype and I said, it's crazy, but like nobody at home knew I was doing it. Would that be irritating to look at?
Yeah, and I would just like, why are you doing this?
No, but if I asked you off the record, I'm like, don't mention it. If I never explained what it was, I'm like, let's not talk about that.
I'm standing there limp wristed
for no reason, but not even just if I got crazy. If I laughed, I was like, and like my hands moved, but I didn't do anything to stop it. Like,
yeah, no, I'd be annoyed. It'd be very annoying.
Wow, this is a virtual machine, so this is probably not fake.
I don't think it didn't strike me as fake. It did not. It didn't come across like, because it's not like show busy. It's not glitzy. It seems real. And this guy, he's got 14 million views, and this guy's channel is like all, shitting on tech support scams. So this is what he does. So.
On the scams. Yeah. So he knows what he's doing.
Yes. He struck me as knowing what he was doing. He was great. So much fun.
I'm going to start a channel like that. Thank you for suggesting that.
Every single morning, you sign on to Zoom echoing back because you do not know how to operate your own equipment. What would you possibly be able to do against a tech scammer?
I think you're wrong, and I get blamed for these things, but it's not my fault.
Okay, well, I believe a lot of mornings you come on and you go, hey, I hear an echo, but it's not my fault. And then Travis goes, it 100% is your fault. You're not muted. And then you go like this. Correct. Yes, you are correct.
This morning
Travis.
Before the show was without a doubt my favorite one.
Oh, so all of a sudden people don't recognize when they're being tested. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm doing tech tests and you passed. So instead of being, shall we say, snippy about it, maybe you can be grateful you passed your tech test.
Tech test with Jim.
A tech test.
I think tech test would be a good YouTube channel.
A tech test for theft. A tech test for theft.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was, and he passed it.
I think that would be a good YouTube channel.
Tef's Tech Test.
Yeah,
it's a fun one to say.
It's fun. It is fun. All right. While you're setting that up, let's take a break.
Yep. Guess where I'm going to put my finger before I sniff it?
Where?
Just guess.
Is it your belly button?
No.
Is it your bunghole?
Good guess.
Good guess. I was being hopeful with the first one.
Yep.
It is indeed your bunghole.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
Well, you go use that thing, and we'll be right back.
Oh, by the way, before I forget,
yes.
I want to plug Chip's Patreon.
You should.
There's Comic-Con stuff up from 2016, which was when Chips first started wearing the fucking wig and glasses. And again, they're all short clips, but they've never been seen before. And I posted one last night. It's like just 6 minutes, but it literally made me fucking nauseous to watch him in a Batman fucking mask interacting with a woman. So that, and there's the merchandise store, which people are loving, and they're starting to post photos. So thank you to the people who have supported that stuff, and that's what's paying daddy's bills.
The comic, well, I mean, you're still getting paid to do a radio show.
No, I'm not.
No.
You don't understand. Sirius said that they were in trouble.
What? Oh,
yeah, they told me.
No, yeah, me, yes, same. Yeah, I'm sure we're all, yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, good.
Yeah, no, totally. Was that the Comic-Con trip where, remember the woman that got mad at Chip because you were asking her about Pekkas?
Oh, no, that stuff's been posted. No, this is literally a couple of years ago in New York Comic-Con where Chip was wearing the blonde wig. This is like right around the time the podcast started. My podcast must have started because Chip had the glasses on, and we didn't do anything with it. And I remember I was going to animate it, and I was like, the audio is not quite good enough, and it felt like, and then the podcast, I think this was right as I started the podcast, if I remember correctly. And, there's really uncomfortable interactions, but Chip in the Batman mask was like revolting. Revolting.
It's great.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love it.
Me too.
I love it. All right. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
BRB.
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Oh, fuck.
It's so good. Grace.
Yeah.
So
Grace,
good.
2 tickets first class on the Concorde. What a shitty, that's like a Chip thing to say.
What a washed up schlub.
Boy, was he good.
He doesn't say first class on the Concorde, does he?
No, I'm just making it up. But I think he
Oh,
does say
okay,
Make
okay.
it first class, Grace.
Yeah, he says first class. Yeah, I would have been even funnier because there was no first class on the Concorde.
No, the whole
I wish he did say. I wish he did say first class on the Concorde.
They're working on. They've been speculating about a new plane or something, like a version of the Concorde, or maybe they just don't feel it's necessary. But I've heard them talking about possibly doing that, which actually beats the Concorde's time.
People love the Concorde, except it didn't work cross country. You would have to travel over an ocean for it because they were too afraid that it would crush the sound barriers and break the buildings that it flew over. They didn't know. Yeah, the window, like the glass in the buildings. Yeah. They didn't know for sure that it would, and a lot of people said that there's no way that it would, but they were also not willing to test it. So it can only fly across oceans. Otherwise, if it flew cross country, it would never get the speeds that it needed to get to actually make any difference.
Well,
plus it was actually apparently very small inside. Like uncomfortable.
Look, I've watched videos of it, and when they break the sound barrier, you can see there are videos that they could have flown. I don't know. I forget where like LAX is, how close to the water, but out of JFK, you could, which is where it left from, you could take off over the ocean, just turn around, and I mean the sound barrier. When you break the sound barrier, you're not going to break windows if you're fucking X amount of 1,000 feet up. I mean, you're not gonna break windows if you're. I just don't know how low you have to be to break windows with the sound barrier.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to test it.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's because on the West Coast they couldn't. Maybe LAX wasn't close enough to the water.
Well, yeah, and you can't. You don't just immediately do it. Like you have to be flying for a certain period of time,
right,
before you can ramp up to the right speed. So by the time they ramp up, yeah.
Maybe I don't know why they didn't. That's a good question because it might, or the amount of time it might have shaved wouldn't have been worth it. I don't know.
At that point, right? Yeah, and the tickets were really expensive.
Yeah,
and then like right around 9/11, they on accident blew up a tire on a runway.
They also had that one, the crash you're talking about. Yeah, in France. That was Air France. That's a terrible video because they tried to come back, and they said that was from a Continental plane. If I remember correctly, there was something that fell out of the engine of a Continental plane, a teeny piece of metal that got kicked up by the wheel of the Concorde into the engine and blew it up. It wasn't even the Concorde's fault.
I see.
They literally had something that like just like a wheel will grab something and kick it back, and it fucking shot it into the engine.
Yeah. But I don't know. It'd be cool if they brought something back that was. I mean, it would just be cool to have some kind of air travel, some kind of advancement in air travel. You know, it's been the same for so long. Like some kind of advancement would be
same
cool.
Speeds, kind of. Maybe they're waiting
more or less
until they can break the barrier of space, like not deep space, but if you can go up a little bit and somehow break that where the air is really thin and fucking really take off and come back down, you might be able to shave like a significant, like maybe go
like
to
for
London
cross country.
in 2 hours. Yeah, anything like really far. But I don't know. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass.
But the shapes of the things too, like people don't want to, because you could only get so many seats. That's why it was so expensive. You can only get so many seats on it, and they were all cramped in anyway.
Yeah, and it was like a really thin funnel, like a thin tube. Which is why, like, I had taken part in a design for a newer Concorde that I was hoping would increase speed, and they said the shape was the aerodynamics needed work, which was frustrating.
That's got to be. Well, I mean, what kind of shape was it? That sounds very frustrating.
Well, I hated the fact that it was a long, narrow tube, so I tried to make it like seats on top of each other, so the whole thing was like very thin but much higher, like a wall flying straight. So that was
it'd just be like pairs of seats, but on top of each other.
On top of each other, yeah. And they said that was not good. That did not help with wind resistance.
Yeah, no, it'd be so tall it might even break in half if it went too fast.
When I look at trucks, don't you look at I'm obsessed with tractor trailers, and I've been obsessed probably for 15 years with the cabs of amazing trucks. Like I I drive by, like you see like the extended
My 3-year-old
cabs.
likes trucks.
I do too. They when you look at the cab and they have that little thing that pushes the air over the trailer for aerodynamics. I love those things. I'm dying to be inside one of those, like a giant sleeper cab. No, I don't know. I've had offers, but I want to see the inside of it, like a really high-end sleeper cab. And I don't mean one that's only made for shows, like one that's actually can be used for cross-country drivers, that's feasible.
Yeah. I bet you can get your ass in there. I'll bet you can get in one of those things. Don't let that dream die.
I want to. I don't want to own it. I just want to sit in it and go for a ride.
You want to take a look. Yeah. Maybe spend a little time in the back. Maybe not even an evening. Yeah. Just hang out back there for a little while. Like thinking to yourself, we're driving a truck, but look at me lounging. This is great.
Wouldn't it be cool, though, just to see what that's like? Like, what a life those guys have. And I don't mean great. It's a hard life. But, I mean, just sleeping on the side of the road. You got to sleep on the highway.
Yeah.
They'll pull over. That's a tough life, man. Fucking interstate trucking.
It's a very tough life. But there are times when, like, the independence of it, I find appealing. Like the idea that you could just
in each state, as you go.
What?
You can commit murders. You can kill somebody in Ohio and then fucking stab somebody in Washington.
I said mergers and acquisitions.
Yeah.
Did you?
Sure.
I don't know if you got the news. Jabroni. The word jabroni has been added to the dictionary for all the jabroni marks who work themselves into a shoot until they don't know work's a shoot, brother. Jabroni is, they put, technically, I mean, they're making a big deal out of it. Technically, it's just dictionary.com. It's not officially, it's not like,
it's not in Webster's?
It's not a Webster's announcement. It's dictionary.com. Yeah. It's not Merriam or Webster. Neither one of those two have acknowledged jabroni as a word, but dictionary.com has.
It's like one step up,
which is a big deal because
dictionary.
dictionary.com is a real dictionary. I mean, sorry, you're an old man I still prefer the smell of a good old book, but people use dictionary.com.
I thought it was Webster's.
Merriam-Webster.
Well, Merriam-Webster.
And to answer your question, Noah Webster and Charles Merriam were the two that began it in the 1800s, as we've discussed many times.
That was my next question.
You've been known to say.
As I've been known, yes, I've been known to say at parties.
That was definitely my next question. Yes, jabroni. And this is The Rock. This is the second word The Rock I will give credit to for getting into the dictionary. He got SmackDown into the dictionary, and now he's got jabroni in there. It's a noun. It's a slang. A stupid, foolish, or contemptible person. A loser. The sentence, she always has a comeback to own the trolls and jabronis on Twitter. That was the most struggling to be relevant sentence I've ever heard in my life.
Terrible. Here's an example of that word. You must think I'm some sort of a jabroni if you think I'm falling for that scam.
It's very good because it ties back to the scam stuff we were talking about earlier.
Sure does.
Maybe that's something you could do for your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The second definition is also called enhancement talent or jobber. A wrestler whose purpose it is to lose matches against headlining wrestlers in order to build up the status and fame of those headliners. Another terrible sentence from dictionary.com. The sentence is, the man is a legend in the ring. He eats jabronis for breakfast.
That's awesome.
Nobody would ever say that.
Why would I? That's what I say all the time about wrestling. What do you have for breakfast? Some jabronis? And then I would applaud my favorite wrestler.
What a terrible thing to say. What are you over there, eating some jabronis for breakfast?
Yeah, look at that. He's got a toothpick. He's going to pick a little jabroni meat out of his teeth. This guy knows how to gobble up a jabroni. I hate the word jabroni.
Well, it's in the dictionary. Speaking of trying to be relevant, I was in the Teft world in Animal Kink Crossings. And I noticed he put up his Biden-Harris Animal Crossing signs, which are now available for...
my politics.
That's right. They're now available for Animal Crossings. Biden and Kamala have decided to jump into Animal Crossings just to, because they got to stay relevant. They got to stay up with the kids. The Biden-Harris campaign launches Animal Crossings yard signs. New Horizons players can now decorate their island homes with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris campaign signs. According to The Verge, the move is part of the campaign's effort to organize voters online.
Wow. It's funny. We've talked about these two before. You know why I don't like her? They're all the same.
Tell me.
But when they're asking her about things she said in the campaign about Biden, and she's going, that doesn't help the conversation. That's not what we're trying to do. It's like, and none of these fucking assholes will just go, well, can you explain why you said that stuff and now you're running with them?
Yeah, I mean, it's a debate. It's a debate, Jim. It's a debate.
It's such a bullshit answer. Like, I like Stephen Colbert, but, I wish, but if you like somebody, it's harder to press them. I understand that. Like, I do get that, but I would like her more if she gave a reason and said, look, I shouldn't have said that, or I said this, but the whole, it's a debate, it's just a shitty explanation.
It is a bad explanation.
Yeah.
Did you read about the Donald Trump mini stroke?
I watched the video of him walking. He's saying it's bullshit. He didn't go to Walter Reed for that or whatever. But there was the one video they showed of his foot like dragging a little, but I don't know if that's a stroke walk or not. Was there anything else that happened? Like, why did they think he had a mini stroke? Was there something else he slumped, or did he do anything else?
Well, I didn't
read that anybody thought he had a mini stroke until he said that he didn't have a mini stroke. It was almost one of those things that by denying it, I was like, wait, did he have a mini stroke? Like, I didn't realize it was a thing. Yesterday, President Trump denied that he made an emergency visit to the hospital last year after suffering a series of mini strokes after a new book, that's what it was, claimed that Vice President Pence was on standby in the event that Trump was incapacitated. The president's denial raised eyebrows, as the book from the New York Times correspondent did not specifically state that Trump had suffered from a series of small mini strokes. That's why it's weird. Schmidt reported in his new book that Pence was told to be on standby to assume the presidential powers last November in the event the president had to be anesthetized during a previously unscheduled visit to Walter Reed Medical Center.
Wow.
So I didn't, unless, and there could definitely be other articles, but I didn't read anything about having suffered a series of mini strokes until he tweeted that he did not suffer a series of mini strokes. Am I missing something there, Travis? I know you were about to say something.
No, just what you said, that now it's being reported because it's coming out in a book. But I think we knew about his unscheduled trip to Walter Reed.
But we didn't know it was for mini strokes?
Mini strokes.
Yes,
and then
spent a lot of
Drudge
time edging with giving myself those.
and then Drudge posted that the link to that video that I think is on CNN's Twitter or something.
Yeah, so I didn't know if it was true or not.
Yeah.
What, the video?
Let's see.
I mean, the video is true.
No. Meaning that was what it was. It could have just been.
Oh well, I mean, it's just people kind of putting things together,
the pieces together. Yeah,
that he trips on stairs and has a hard time drinking water.
He does have a hard time drinking water, and he does walk slowly sometimes. I'll say stroke.
Because he's 72. People forget that he's 72 years old. Like, he's old. But, I mean, if he had strokes, the people do kind of have the right to know that. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
they have the right to.
I'm going to guess.
The president.
Yeah, I'm guessing strokes. I think strokes.
I think it's
now.
I think the more interesting thing is that Drudge is going all in on it.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
Because he was the one that did that with Hillary 4 years ago with her videos of being helped into the van and stuff.
Aren't they different? Drudge was typically a little bit more conservative friendly.
Very.
They were very conservative.
Yeah, and they got bought or something.
Drudge?
I believe. Can you see who's in charge of Drudge now? Who owns Drudge?
I think it's still Matt Drudge.
Maybe it is, but for some reason I think that there was somebody.
Oh, you know who it is? It's Mike Montone. That's why he wears that hat.
Ah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's
the Montone
Drudge
family
press
bought
hat.
Drudge.
Yeah.
I don't have to raise some capital, and I bought Drudge Report. Didn't cost too much.
Yeah, no, it says from in July Tucker Carlson says Matt Drudge is now firmly a man of the progressive left. So Drudge is still getting credited for all the Drudge stuff. Yeah,
he is listed on Wikipedia as still being the owner. I think it's still just him and a couple other people.
Okay.
Just talking about the president having strokes.
Yep. Which is why it doesn't like update at night and stuff. You know, like.
Yeah, I noticed
because they're asleep.
Yeah, because they're asleep.
Not a big staff.
No, I think it's him and a couple other people.
Yeah, why does he drink water that way? I'm watching it as we're talking the way he drinks water. Is he just? I think is he worried about spilling it?
Nobody else drinks water like that.
Yeah, some people do.
People that have had mini strokes.
Survived mini stroke victims.
He's giving signals to QAnon.
Oh, you know what?
It could be QAnon signals. That I can believe that one too, Troy. You brought up a great point there. It's either the stroke thing, or it could very well be signals to QAnon. You're very right about that.
But there was that video of him like walking upstairs the other day, and he just completely missed the last one. And then he didn't play it off like,
Every president does that, though, because they're all old. And except for Obama, he would jog up. If Gerald Ford couldn't stop falling down the steps.
Gerald Ford rolled downstairs.
He literally would see steps and then fire roll to the bottom.
Yeah. Gerald Ford was just like, he was pratfalling at some point. He went to like clown college to get downstairs.
Dude, can you imagine? If like every time you walked on steps, you knew the whole world was watching, you'd be bound to trip on them. I know I would trip up the steps if everyone was watching.
1, 2, 1, 2. Well, fuck.
Yeah, don't trip. Don't trip.
Gerald Ford would start every walk looking at the camera like it was an episode of Jackass going, I'm Gerald Ford, and this is walking downstairs. And he'd just throw himself down him. No, look, I do have a bias against Trump. He said some shit yesterday or 2 days ago, maybe at this point, that I'm having a real tough time forgiving. This is, he was on the Ingram report, and he said,
is that its name?
And this is what and this is what he said to Laura Ingram.
But are the suburbs in danger? Because they say that's fear-mongering on the part of
I know the
Republicans.
suburbs. Look, Westchester was ground zero, okay, for what...
He needs to keep Westchester's name out of his goddamn mouth.
Well, he's right. It was ground zero.
Yeah, but we cured it first.
Fucking
we cured
Corona.
Corona.
You were dead. Fucking festering petri dish that you live in.
The other half is awesome. The other half is doing great.
All right.
Yeah, and he also I didn't like that he was very negative about Westchester. But I think that's because, Westchester, I don't think there's that many Trump. There are some Trump supporters in Westchester, but not that many. I'm looking. I had the. Yes.
By the way, as we're talking, sorry, I'm watching Gerald Ford fall down the stairs.
I mean,
it's great.
Gerald
it's raining
Ford,
out and he slips. Oh, he fell.
Gerald Ford would realize there was a flight of stairs in front of him, and he'd take 2 bananas and he'd smear them all over his shoes, and he'd just go for a walk.
How many times did he fall? Was it only that once and he just got pegged as the klutz?
I think it was just one time, one big time. I don't know for sure. But, yeah, I think after that it was just like, oh, that's Gerald Ford. He's the guy who falls downstairs nonstop.
Oh, no.
That used to be...
Yep.
That used to be what the president, like, it used to be that if the president fell down one time, it would be news that you would remember for decades. Now it's Tuesday.
It fell down.
What, Gerald Ford falling down?
Yeah, but I can only find this one clip. And I'm like, my whole life, like, I remember Gerald Ford was a klutz. That's what you remembered about Gerald Ford. And then I'm like, but did he only fall down the stairs once, or was there a few different times?
It might have been just once.
Maybe.
This was the other moment that Trump tipped off Laura Ingram to.
He's not controlling anything.
Who do you think is pulling Biden?
He's talking about Biden, by the way.
He's not controlling anything.
Who do you think is pulling Biden's strings? Is it former Obama
people
officials?
That you've never heard of. People that are in the dark shadows. People that...
What does that mean? That sounds like conspiracy theory. Dark shadows.
No,
what is that?
People that you haven't heard of. They're people that are on the streets. They're people that are controlling the streets. We had somebody get on a plane from a certain city this weekend. And in the plane, it was almost completely loaded with thugs wearing these dark uniforms, black uniforms with gear and this and that. They're on a plane.
Where's this?
I'll tell you sometime, but it's under investigation right now. But they came from a certain city, and this person was coming to the Republican National Convention. And there were like 7 people on the plane like this person, and then a lot of people were on the plane to do big damage. They were coming
Planning for Washington.
Yeah, this is all happening.
But the money is coming.
Come on.
I don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about ninjas. He's talking about a plane full of ninjas coming to attack. I mean, the RNC wasn't even a thing. It was a virtual. Oh, maybe it was rooftop ninjas. I mean, what's he talking about? That they're coming to the RNC? The RNC was virtual.
Yeah.
It was digital. It was not a real. There was no. What the hell is he talking about? Ninjas on the plane going to the RNC. And she goes like this. Where was this plane? And he goes, I'll tell you about it sometime.
Yeah, it's under investigation.
She's a supporter.
She loves him, yeah.
She's the biggest one. Like, her and Hannity are like, diehards, and Tucker.
She tried to help him there, too, because he had said something, and she said, you're not comparing police shootings to golf.
She said that.
Like, I don't think he meant it that literally, but she was trying to bail him out a little bit there. She's a friendly face for him.
She is a friendly face, and this is a friendly interview. And she's like, well, if Biden's not, who is controlling Biden? There's a plane full of ninjas. Maybe them, maybe the people walking in the shadows. I mean, I feel like when he's talking about the people walking in the shadows controlling Biden, he's specifically being like, shout outs to my QAnon folks. I mean, what's he talking about?
People in
What's
the street.
he talking about?
The people in the street.
The people in the street.
You don't know.
In the shadows of the streets that are flying in on planes.
They were on a plane. We're investigating.
If you got on a plane, right, and it's just full of ninjas, wouldn't you definitely take a photo? Wouldn't you take like a selfie and go like, there's some crazy shit going on this plane right now? Yeah, the foot is on this plane. It's all foot. And I don't know what they're all doing here. I don't know how they got these ninja stars on the plane. I mean, this is crazy town, but they say they're going to the RNC. I don't know if they know that the RNC is it's just a collection of taped speeches, same as the DNC. Well, I don't know if they know that or not, but I'm not going to correct them because this is the Foot Clan. There are ninjas on this plane, and I am not going to be the guy to tell these ninjas that the place that they're going to doesn't exist. And they'll go like this, well, what plane was it? I'm not even going to tell you that.
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you sometime. I'll tell you sometime. That's the president talking.
I don't know.
No, me neither. I tell you this, though. I just told you at the beginning of today's show, I told you I was driving around the Bestchester, Taco Bell, pizza places. He needs to not insult Westchester because this isn't where the ninjas are going. I didn't see any shadow people. I didn't see any ninjas. I saw one helpful guy shouting at cars, telling them not to get in the drive-thru. That was it. No ninjas or shadow people.
He probably
controlling
worked
Joe
for another
Biden.
company. He probably worked for someone else. He was probably trying to get people away from Taco Bell into his restaurant.
Or he was just fucking with everyone.
Maybe.
Or he was doing that too.
Closed.
He was doing. Yeah, that's a big possibility. Or he was a shadow person trying to control Joe Biden.
I used to hate when Art Bell would have people talk about the shadow people. Like, I wanted to hear UFO shit, Mars. But then people would be like, yeah, I was laying in my bed and I saw a shadow person. No, you didn't. Hey, that was your uncle.
Yeah. You experience night paralysis and you have memories that you're trying to not remember. Like, that's not, there's no shadow people. The shadow people,
He was tucking away for 4 hours.
If it's 2:00 in the morning and you're listening to guys talk about UFOs, you can get into it. You can go like, okay, yeah, this is something.
Yeah.
But even at 2:00 in the morning, it's like when they're like, and then that's when the shadow people come. All right, I'm out. Okay, no more.
I was at a Starbucks, by the way. Before I forget, the guy called me my guy. He goes, all right, my guy. I've never heard that before, but it annoyed me so much. I hate it.
It didn't make you feel inclusive?
No, it didn't. And before I forgot, I had to say that because I forgot it the whole show. And I meant to say it was
my guy.
Yesterday. Yeah, all right, my guy. Like, woof.
I'm not your guy, sir.
Your guy.
Yeah. Although maybe you should have spent more time listening to Art Bell talk about shadow people. Because now the president is claiming that the man who's running against him for president is being controlled by said shadow people.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? He's talking about, he's a little conspiracy there. A little conspiracy shit, which I don't like.
Well, he believes in QAnon, you know? What can you say? My family just said there's a tarantula upstairs.
Really?
I don't know why there would be a tarantula upstairs.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
For
luckily,
me, not you.
No.
Terrifying
Yeah,
for
that seems bad.
Yeah.
You should.
Luckily, we're out of time, but I think I gotta go handle that.
Go take care of that tarantula.
Yeah, I guess I'll be back with an update for you tomorrow, hopefully.
No, you're one of your kids probably said there's an ugly tarantula downstairs, and your wife said, no, that's Daddy's beard.
Well, we'll see. I'll go find out. We'll talk to you guys later. Stick around for